Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I love
Thank you so much for your support.
January, February, into March and April. Same way too.
Thank you.
May, June, or July.
Fucking hell! Horrid!
I never
Absolutely
let a day
horrid!
go by
I give you shower and you snaky with me. What the fuck did I do to you?
Go away in August or September, in October and November, not to mention warm December. I love
Half a dozen pieces of fucking
so
shit.
another year has gone, I'm ready for the next one too.
If I can be with you.
Every single second, every minute, every hour of the whole year too. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I love you.
I'm ArchieLuxury. Tell me what you fuckers think of that.
I am sure that Lord is watching this program as well, because he cannot stop watching you, because it's basically very attractive to you sexually, even so that he is not into men's, but eventually he is.
Lord, help me!
Yes, sir.
I spent too much money.
I respect you. I will remain.
Okay, I respect you too. I love
no
you.
hard
You can
feelings.
leave now because your time
That's
is
goodbye.
important.
I gotta be totally honest with you. I don't want to carry on this bullshit that everything is a struggle. I've got to be totally honest with you. I actually have a tax bill kind of due, and this money would be extremely helpful to meet some obligations that I've got.
In October and November, not to mention warm December, I love you. Though another year has gone, I'm ready for the next one too.
If I can be with you.
Every single second, every minute, every hour of the whole year too. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Holy fuck! What the fuck? I'm looking in the mirror!
I love you.
All right, guys, the shortest long clip I could find for you guys. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. Your boy Patek Philippe here. Just want to give you guys a quick update. I got a message from Archie that they were going to start the show in about an hour and 15 minutes, and I was like, "Look, man, we don't start late in show business." So I told him I was going to hold it down for Archie and maybe Lux. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I thought I'd start the show on time, talk some watches. We got some new releases today. I can see it in the chat. I can see it all over YouTube. Everybody's got a hard on for this new First Omega in space. I'll tell you guys my thoughts. Today I'm going to talk dials, I'm going to talk dogs, and I'm going to talk Datejust. But before I get into that, let's say hi to everybody in the chat. First in the chat today, Seb Nelly. All good time. Nice to see Seb Nelly. Unacquired Taste in the chat. We got BCBC telling us it's pure shit. We got Mr. Wilkinson in the chat. Rob Filmer. Watch Collector UK. We got Canadian Jimmy in the chat. We got Patrick B. P-Cars. Hopefully it's cooling down over there, P-Cars. P-Cars showed me some photos of him in the P-Car, and it was heating up. So hopefully you're doing well. Brian Tone, Archie, what is your Stream Elements tips page? Yeah, you know what? It's not a bad idea, Brian Tone. Scratchy ended up setting up Stream Elements because he's not monetized on his channel. It's like it's a plugin, I guess, to the streaming software he uses. Kind of similar to PayPal, direct way to pay him and whatnot, but pretty cool. Who else do we have here in the chat? We got Brett Yulton, who says 11.5K Australian. Not sure what he's talking about. We got NATO, Mike the Snake. We got JCB. It's cool, but the loom is way too cooked. Should have been cream, not brownie orange. Yeah, we're going to get into that, my friend. We're going to get into that. And we got our first super chat of the night. P Cars, $10 super sticker. Thank you so much to my friend P Cars. We got John C in the chat. We love you, Dan. Thanks so much. We got Phoenician Cedar. Look, it's good to see you as well, Phoenician Cedar. I didn't want to keep everyone waiting, right? Like, Archie's not going to start on time. We can still have some fun, still talk some watches. I can drop the link for people if they want to hop on. Haven't actually, that's not what I didn't do, is I didn't pin the link, but I could do that here momentarily. But as I said, I came prepared with a few topics: dials, dogs, and Datejusts. And for me, like all this news about the first Omega in space is going to be, it's going to kind of talk about my kind of topic on the dials piece of it, because I think everyone's kind of going gaga over this watch, specifically over the dial. And for me, it's definitely one that I think we can definitely have a look at through the dial. Doc BBW, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just trying to get the link pinned here for the show. How's everything with you? It's Omega Day, Doc. I'm assuming you're hyped up for the Omega talk today.
Indeed, I am. I'm a little pissed, just slightly pissed off, because I picked up a first Amiga in space back in January. So, the original one. And obviously, this is an upgrade.
CK2998.
Well, what I mean is I picked up the first Amiga in space, the 2012
Oh,
rendition.
the 2012 one. Yes, okay.
And so, obviously, it's nice, but not as nice as this one. And
yeah,
so we'll see.
Is that a bit of disappointment I hear in your voice, Doc?
Well, it's a disappointment that they hadn't come out with this just a little earlier, so that I could think about it and say, yeah, I'll spend the extra money on this one instead of getting, the 2012 version.
All right,
which obviously had a number of pitfalls compared to this recent edition.
Yeah, so let's look into the first Amiga in space. Obviously, the biggest news that's hitting the market, hitting the YouTube today. And to me, first topic, dials, right? Like, I think everyone's just going a little crazy over this watch because of the dial. I think, Doc, that like, while the dial is nice, this is one of these watches that like I look at and I'm like, I mean, it's a nice watch. I would never own this watch personally. I like the history. I'm going to pull up yours because I think in this article, they actually show your piece. Whoops, I think I scrolled past it here.
Well, no, I see what you mean. Mine is modified though, so I'll pull up what I've got. Mine is modded to look more like this one that they now have, So,
okay.
Because you know me, I'm a mod guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I know some of the biggest complaints about this watch was it doesn't have the dot over 90, and it doesn't have like the diagonal on 70 or something like that. I think it was, as far as I remember of this watch. Not like biggest expert on this piece, but
well, the biggest complaint was the crystal. Actually, I mean, if you go in the forums,
being a non-Hesselite and being a sapphire crystal,
and also the fact that it's like top hat type sapphire crystal at that. Mm-hmm. It's not domed.
Okay.
So that was the major complaint that most people have, including myself, which is why I swapped it out for a Hesselite.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking watch. It's a nice looking watch, actually. I think that when we kind of move to the newer model, I'll show you guys here. I think everyone's here to see the new model, so let's showcase the new model for everybody. Doc, talk to me about what you feel, obviously owning the previous model to, seeing this new model. Like, what do you love about it? What do you hate about it? Let's kind of do the comparison for somebody who's actually an owner of one.
Well, like you said, it's almost always primarily about the dial, right? So this is a dial that truly is a recreation of 1962 2998. And if you look at the first Amiga in space from 2012, it's not trying to be a reissue at all. It's a completely different dial. So that's the first thing I like about this one, is that it is a true reissue. It's true to the 2998, in my opinion.
Bear Clooney watches, joins the chat. How's it going, Bear?
Hi, John. How are you? Big day in Omega world. Wow.
Indeed.
Yeah, I was curious to hear your take, Bear. I know you would have an opinion on this one. Is it all about the dial, or what do you think? Nice proportions?
Well, I'm gonna tell you first the things I don't like, which will be kind of opposite from what Doc likes. So the things I don't like is that it's a plastic piece of shit and it's not sapphire, because I prefer sapphire. The second thing I don't like is the faux patina. I prefer it's just done normally, no patina at all. The things I do love, the size is awesome. It will wear really nice on any wrist. I had the first edition of the of First Omega in Space, and I always regretted they didn't make it on the bracelet. I love the idea. They actually made this on the bracelet, even though there are other two options on the strap as well. A little minus on the strap is that they are doing pin buckle instead of doing a deploy and clasp, which I think would be much better. A lot of complaints about not exposing the movement. With me, it's the contrary. I actually like the case back, which is kind of a tribute to the piece, to the history of the watch. So there's a lot of things I like, and there's some things that I don't like. And then finally, I think the thing I do like that it's a META certified. But one thing I think the biggest problem is the price. I mean, the price for these watches is gone just too high. Originally, they'll be offered only in boutiques, which will also keep the price a little bit higher than there should be, because as you know, boutiques do not discount. So there's positives, there's negatives. I appreciate the watch. I appreciate the history. I do like the hands on both of them. I think aesthetically this watch is more appealing to me than actually professional. So there you go. That's my summary of how I see this watch.
Before you
What
get into
would you
that comment, Doc, before you get into it, Jimmy just wanted to say that the this one does have a dome sapphire crystal. It's not the Hesalite one. I don't know if that changes your opinion of it, Bear, but it was maybe that's better for you. But yeah.
Now, obviously, though,
My understanding is
it's a
this
dome
is not.
crystal that looks very. It
My
looks very much
understanding
like
this is
that.
not. This is not sapphire.
No, it's sapphire.
Yeah.
Oh, this is sapphire. Big plus
Yes.
for me. Big
Yeah.
It's
plus for me.
sapphire. It's sapphire, but a new design, so it's domed and it looks much like Hesalite.
Yeah, this is the crystal right here.
So it's apparently it's been redone. It isn't even the same as the 321 caliber reissue at white. It's an improvement on that.
It's a nice watch.
Doc, you were going to say with a comment? The Archie
No,
comment?
I was just going to say that it has the look of the Hesalite crystal, so at least aesthetically, it's an improvement over the first generation, first Omega in Space, the one that Bear and I have or had.
I'm going to give you guys my hot take on this one. Like, I don't think this watch is special by any means. Like, I can appreciate the history. I can appreciate, I mean, it's not even the first watch in space, right? It's the first Omega in space. Like, it's kind of just a really weird commemoration, in my opinion. Like, the moon watch makes sense. I mean, it's the watch that landed on the moon, right? I
Right.
mean, if it was the first watch in space, totally get it, right? It's the first Omega in space. Like, who gives a shit? So I don't really understand the commemorative part of it. Design wise, it is nice. I think anybody who's looking for a Speedmaster, just like Bear said, this is more appealing to him than the moon watches because he doesn't like the aesthetic of the moon watch. He likes this one. Nice dial.
Mhm.
Not everybody likes, faux patina. I think faux patina gets a lot less outrage today, Bear. I mean, would you agree with this? Like 5
Yes.
years ago, 6 years ago, if this watch came out, everyone would be like, faux patina, and then it would be instantly dismissed because of that.
Yeah, gradually they got us kind of conditioned that faux patina is acceptable.
Yeah, and honestly, this is the first time I've seen a faux patina watch in probably a year or two where people actually commented about it saying, "Oh, I don't like it because of the faux patina." So I found that a little because they got like the no time to die. Like I never like it, I mean, some people pointed it out, but I don't think it ever deterred anybody from buying that watch, right? Like I've heard a lot of people say that today about this one, so it's strange. Like to me, this watch is dial only, and I think in dial only watches, I mean, no dial is so spectacular that drives you to just buy that watch. Maybe Meteorite, Pepsi Bear. I don't know too many other ones.
Right. Right.
Well,
So-
this dial, interestingly, it's not just the faux patina in terms of the lume; it's also the dial itself because they've added that slight blue to it.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
I'd like to see it in person, but I think generally speaking, I wouldn't have an objection to it. I'm more about the aesthetic, and as long as it looks right, I don't have a problem that it's faux patina, even if they've done the dial to make it look like it's faded to blue.
I mean, I like that about it, right? It's a cool blue gray, type of dial. Like that is very nice. But I mean, if that like Bear, if they put that dial on the Moonwatch, yeah, it would be an instant, kind of like the white dial, right? It's a very nice looking dial. It's an attractive dial.
Oh yeah. Why dial just has something. The way they did it, the way the sub dials kind of sync beautifully. There's just something happened there. There was. I don't think they planned on it. I think it just happened. Just clicked. Well, you know what? Maybe we need to wait and see this actually in person. Maybe this dial has something very special. I don't know.
Yeah, to me it's just a cool dial, and yeah, I don't know. I don't see the hype. I don't see why everybody's going gaga over it. I didn't really like the previous model, and
So overall, 10 people are actually there's a much more positive feedback on this, right?
Yep, very.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
I think it has to do with your wrist as well. In other words, like I had
Was it a
I had a
42?
1968, so professional, Speedmaster
Mhm.
Professional, and truly it was a little too large for my wrist.
Was it a 40?
And
Was it a 42?
correct.
Okay. And
And
so
so
they brought this one down, right?
yeah, and with the straight lugs, it's trimmed enough that it fits on my wrist perfectly. So I think it
Doc,
depends
this
largely
is
on that.
that magic size. I think, in
Yeah,
all honesty, that's optimal for every wrist. Well, maybe not Mike the Snake size wrist type of thing, but majority of the
certainly.
wrists are right.
Exactly. The majority of wrists will feel more comfortable with a First Amiga in space than a Speedmaster Professional, in my opinion.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think people force their way though to feel that the Speedmaster Professional is a better watch, and therefore they force it to fit their wrist. But if they're being honest, this is a better fit.
If you guys don't mind, I want to hop to another topic. Same topic of dials. I'm going to go arguably to the what I would consider is the watchmaker that's known best for dials. I'm sure Bear's going to guess before I do this, but we're going to go to Grand Seiko.
Yeah, yeah.
The two new releases. Bear, I don't know. Did you have a chance to look at these prior to the show, or?
No, sir. This is the first time I'm looking at these watches.
Okay, cool. So, new European exclusive Grand Seikos, and again, this annoys all of us. SBGW3, whatever. Nishikigoi and SBGY040 Chizantine, I guess. Don't know if that my pronunciation's right on that.
Mhm.
Two European exclusives. So, I mean, right away, right off the bat, simple design of the case, simple it's just simple dial outside of the fact that you've got, obviously what they're trying to do with the whole nature aspect of it, and I'll get into that in a second. But it's not to say that the dial is simple, but to say that the whole package is it's very simplistic, right? And again, to me, this is another case of like the first Amiga in space. It's all about the dial, and is that going to drive someone to buy this watch? Like right off the bat, guys, on the panel, like when you see this watch, is it what's your instant first kind of impression of it?
I have to say that I went to Monochrome also to get a look at the first Amiga in space, and I saw this at the top of the page, and I was thinking, why is this a bigger story? But clearly it was. Clearly it is a bigger story than the first Amiga in
And to be
space.
totally honest with you, I mean, I read through it obviously, and there's not much of a story. Like this is not a guilloche dial. Like as far as I've read in the story, maybe it's a stamp dial. I don't know. It's just
Exactly.
but this is all it is, right? And so
It's just color.
yeah. So to explain what these two are, the red version I think is to signify like koi fish. And again, right, it's a bit of a weird theme. Like you got to really like koi fish, or you got to really like this color. Outside of that, like who the hell's buying this stuff? Like
Not
I don't know.
me.
Yeah, I don't
Not
get it.
me.
Like, and they're pumping these out as a European special. Like, it's not even for the Japanese market. It's for the European market. Like, where is the tie to the koi fish in Europe? I don't know. right?
Is there a
really,
significance to this red though in Europe? Maybe I'm not aware of.
I mean, that's a tough one, right, Doc? I don't know. And this one's the cheaper one, guys. I believe this is in steel.
I actually like this better.
Yeah, I like it too. That's the one I would get if I had to consider getting one of them.
Yeah, yeah. It's the cheaper one in steel. The other one's in gold, and I'll get to that picture in a second here. But again,
It is a nice red. I mean, it's not a crazy bright red, but it is an eye-catching red.
But that's what I'm getting at, Doc. Is like I think everybody can say, okay, it's a nice looking watch, but it's just, is this enough for someone to spend thousands of dollars? Like, I just don't understand how these brands pump out this shit.
I think you have to be a Seiko fiend to want to get it. I think. I mean, I don't know.
$5 super chat. Bear Clooney watches. Thank you, Bear. What an amazing panel, an amazing watch. Doc Bear Clooney is the best. Yeah, fuck off. Tim and Doc are okay. See, he wanted me to read that so that, like, so that you just have that recorded. So yeah.
Thank you to Bear Clooney watches. Thank you to Tan, and yeah, we're doing good. This is a great.
I have
panel.
to say, I feel it's a great panel. I mean, we don't often get Tanzil on the panel, and Bear is back. I think this is a fantastic panel.
Yeah, I just didn't want to start late, guys. Like, if we're gonna, let's start on time. Let's talk watches. There's a lot of stuff going on. So this is the more expensive.
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't planning jumping on tonight, but when I saw Tan talking watches, I'm not gonna. This is for me enjoyable. I'm
glad you said that, because that's what happened with me.
Boys, we're gonna get into a philosophical topic after this one.
This watch that you have on the screen now, this is something Archie would really say, oh, I love this. He loves the contrast of the gold and blue. What is a watch, honestly? How much is this fucking thing?
Can I guess 20?
Yeah, sure. Let's see what it actually is. 31,000 euros.
I should know not to discount it.
Of course it's 30. Seriously, man, I don't want to sound like Archie in his absence. This is expensive.
It's expensive. Well, the other one was
fuck me, Dad.
The other one was 6,100. So yeah, I mean 31,000 euros. Again, right? Like, so just to tell you guys what this watch is about. So the first watch is about koi fish. I think this watch signifies like the pond they're in or something like that. Like, obviously, all these Grand Seikos, they have a tie to nature, and are they simplistic? Are they not? To me, this is a very simplistic watch. Cool looking dial, but I just, like Bear said, I don't see the 31,000. HR joins the panel. What's going on, HR?
Hey. I'll come on to say, if that mongoloid Jake the puppy has something bad about my Bluesy, if he wants to start it off, he knows where I am, because what he said about my Bluesy, I'm too old to be wearing a Bluesy. I'm too young. I don't give a shit what he said. He can come on the stream and voice what he has to say. You're too young
or you're too old? Which one is it?
Exactly. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. He's too busy paying off his £1 million mortgage. He doesn't know what's going on. Let me show you the Bluesy. Let me show you.
Well, wait a second. Is it £1 million or it's $1 million Aussie dollars? It's a big difference.
Mummy's Bluesy.
This is what we're talking about. And this fuckface is saying that I'm too young to be wearing a Bluesy. What does he know? He's got a green Submariner. Didn't they come in black? Didn't have any other colours?
That's actually a beautiful watch, man.
You have a Bluesy fan panel here, I think.
Yeah, Bluesy. But anyway, pass the message on. Tell that cuck to get on. And if he wants an issue, he knows where I am, big boy.
Yeah, you're telling me. Jakey, you heard, man. You heard, Jakey.
You've been called out. I'm calling you out, Jake.
But Barry, you said it, right? Like, the Archie would love the combination of the blue and the gold, but like, just like HR was just showing us, he would be like, just buy a Rolex.
This is a very interesting, subtle color of gold.
That's true. It's not quite in your face, is it?
Yeah, Bluesy is definite gold, but this Grand Seiko is kind of like I don't know. It's a matte gold or something different. Definitely not.
It's almost looking bronzy, isn't it?
Listen.
I mean, I don't know what's going on with
that's
it.
It's beauty, man. Look at that. That's a beautiful watch, man. Beautiful watch.
Wow. And look at the dial. Look at how it.
I was about to say, a Bluesy dial. This Bluesy dial definitely outperforms the photographs of the Seiko dial.
Oh fuck yeah! I take this over that Seiko all day long. Are you kidding me?
So,
I mean,
considering you have to pay twice as much to get the Seiko, or maybe not
Money
twice,
bought
I
it
but
for
wonder
me.
pretty
what
close.
I wonder what Higgy would say about that Seiko.
Is he a
Um,
Seiko fan?
he is. Let me get this super chat real quick, and I'll get into this Seiko. Mert $102 golden panel. Thank you so much, Mert 100. Higgy likes Seikos, Grand Seikos, Creedors, but he likes the really high end stuff. He agrees that like the low end stuff is pretty much just all about the dial. One thing is what I don't like about this bear is this spring drive, right? They're just on a $31,000 gold watch with allegedly a special dial. To me, this spring drive, this kind of like stamping on the dial is going to age very poorly, just like kind of quartz did. At one time, people used to put quartz on a dial because quartz was special. I think that's where we are with spring drive. I don't know, Bear. I know you like spring drive. What do you think? What's
No,
your hot
no,
take?
no, no. Quite contrary. I consider spring drive. I often call it fusion drive. I call it glorified quartz drive. Now, I do like my Grand Seiko recent watch because it's really cheap and it's kind of cool and it's kind of big, chunky, diver. The one that Goldberg has, the same one. So I'm enjoying the watch as a watch. But frankly, if I'm buying Grand Seiko and I'm spending some serious money, I don't want spring drive. I want high beat. Okay, that's what I want. When it comes to this watch, I mean, there's nothing really exceptional about it. There's a story. They always attach some type of nature story behind the dials. They really kind of drive that whole idea of imitating the beauty of the colors in the nature through their dials, blah, blah, blah. That's all fucking cool, and I appreciate it. But the moment I see what else I can buy for that price, I am not going there.
Zeppi, I love my only Grand Seiko White Birch. Very, very nice watch. First edition, a lovely piece. Let me pull up a White Birch. I don't know, Bear, are you a fan of the white or black birch, or is this not really for you?
I do like the white birch. I don't. I don't. I think my first Grand Seiko was in the same time very impressed me, but very fast after that disappointed me. That was the snowflake, and I kind of see the white birch similar to snowflake. Um, it's a mixed feelings. It's a mixed feelings. It's a mixed feelings. Not
Yeah,
my style of
I got to
watch.
say also this the spring drive for me, I'd worry about the longevity of it. I mean, we still don't really know. I mean, we know it's better than a quartz in terms of longevity, yes, but we don't know how well it'll hold up compared to a strictly mechanical movement over time.
Yeah, Doc, I agree with that as well. It's too young to actually give us some kind of history on it. So we'll see how that stands the test of time. I agree.
Yeah.
I understand Bear's sentiment about the snowflake, and I guess it was I guess it was at a certain time, a point in time, Bear, where they were like all the blogs, everybody online was, hard selling the snowflake dial and how like,
Hmm.
it was like, even to the point calling it like high horology at Rolex below Rolex prices. Like it was overhyped at that time, in my
Right.
opinion. Right. And I
Yeah.
think I just think either Grand Seiko paid a shit ton of money to Hodinkee and all these other places because they just kind of failed with their watches before that, right? And the Snowflake was the real first exciting Grand Seiko, and then you had the cocktail, the Peacock, sorry, after that, and multiple iterations of the Peacock and the White Birch, the Black Birch, all these famous ones that people know about. But it was just overhyped, and I that's why I think you were disappointed because you're probably sitting there and let me just guess, you look at the watch, you're like, wow, nice dial, but
Yeah.
that's kind of it. Like there's nothing
That's
else.
it. That's it. That's exact. You got it. It's
And that's
dial.
and that's kind of my point with the first Omega in space or all these other all these other Grand Seikos we looked at today. And the first topic that I had of the night was dials, right? Like
Well, I'm going
just
to say the first Omega in space, you also have an improvement with the bezel. It's still aluminum, so they didn't go to a ceramic bezel, which I find fantastic. And now it's appropriate. It's a dot over 90 and all of the good stuff. So
yeah, I'm not
uh,
discounting the small detail changes, Doc. What I'm more speaking about is like you have, that's not a selling
If I
point,
may
I think.
just respond to Nick Miller, he was asking about spring drive when we said it's a relatively young drive. It came out. The first spring drive was actually issued in 1999. So it's not. It's about 2.5 decades since the first spring drive watch was issued by Seiko, Grand Seiko. So it's really young from the perspective of the movement. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So, and we got Marcel on the panel. Hey, Marcel, nice to meet you.
Hey, Patel, Bear, and who is the third one?
That's Doc BB Dubs.
Oh, Doc.
All right. So, Doc, what I was saying was like,
What's going on
it's
there,
it's just not a selling point, right? Like the dial for a lot of these watches, and I guess that's why I started the whole topic of dials was like that's what they're trying to sell it on, and not everybody or not a lot of people, in my opinion, just buy a watch because of the dial. And yes,
Well-
Doc, you're talking about the nerding out part of like, okay, these are more original, and I would agree if you're an Omega fan, yeah, like that'll be a hit, but. I mean, and it's going to. I have a later topic around the smaller collector market versus the masses. But if this is being, I mean, they're not just producing this for the collectors; they're also producing it for the masses. And I think that's really the only attraction is the dial.
Well, keep in mind though, it's also about price. So, like this new first Amiga in space is actually cheaper than a Speedmaster Professional. Some people will say, maybe I'll go that way instead, and it's a little cheaper. Obviously, if they put a 321 in it and they were charging 20 grand, no, I'm not interested.
Well, that's a great point on two sides, right? Like number one, it being cheaper definitely makes sense. Obviously, it could attract people to buy it from the masses. I agree. Number two is on why I don't think this is a special watch is they're using the 3861. I mean, if they had the 321, which was in the original dock, like yeah, it would be a special watch in my opinion.
Yeah, that would make it special. That would make it very special.
But I think I think it's sort of like when you have Porsche worrying about their Cayman being more powerful than a 911, and so they can't let that happen. I think that there's still an Ed White out there. So until they discontinue the Ed White,
super chat? Can I respond to this super chat?
Of course.
Yes, JT, this is exactly where you guys super chat for to wish Marcelo happy birthday and also a happy new year.
Happy New Year, yes.
We will gladly accept the super chats for both of these occasions. And Marcelo is here and he'll hear it and he'll appreciate it. Thank you so much.
JT, member for 10 months. The show to super chat for Marcel's birthday, and Bear gave me the answer. Guys, I wanted to pivot and give my opinion on a watch that I've asked questions about. I think we've heard from Bear yesterday. He was yelling at Archie about it. Archie was, and Bear, you know which one I'm talking about. It's going to be the Moser Pioneer retrograde seconds. I really want to say my take on it. Look, I think this retrograde seconds is just fucking stupid. And I want to show you guys because I mean, again, yesterday we were visualizing like kind of just from photos. I have a video of it, a short from Moser's page. So I'll play the short so that like we can see it. And I'm not gonna play any music in it, just so that you can kind of see how the mechanism works, and then we can kind of talk about it. So let me switch tabs here and let's see what is going on with the Moser. Obviously, the movement, which we all like, we all thought was very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Archie was, yeah, he wasn't really big on it, but now we're getting into
here we go,
the real meat and potatoes. And again, you'll see it. I think when it refreshes here because we kind of started in the middle of it, but right at the start is kind of the highlight of it of like why they, and you can see it's kind of like I think it's a cam snail mechanism, and you kind of see it click. When it goes, you see how it clicks over when it goes. I mean, and again, right? It's not really marked. It's how accurate would this be? How the hell are you ever going to like really, if you really care? Not everybody cares like that, but it's like it's just not really conventional. And this is
when
really,
you get to this level, you do care. You do care.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I mean, it's kind of like it's more annoying to read it this way. It's they're basically flexing their technical prowess, but again, is that really why you're buying this watch? And it's in a fucking Pioneer. It's kind of the wrong watch, in my opinion, to be in too.
It's not something that you normally see, I could say.
And Marcel, I'm a huge fan of the Pioneer. Like I like it. I know Bear, he felt it was a bit big, and he flipped his.
I owned the Cosmic Green one, and The dial was okay. The watch was positioned as a sport watch, which I don't think it is. Maybe by the size only. It is a little bit big the way it wears. The nice movement. The movement is kind of cool. Yeah, they do this fume dial interesting way, but that's about it.
This is an interesting comment from Big Tony because, the reason why they put it at the 10 and 2 on photos is because it kind of looks like a smile, right? And it's probably one of the most symmetrical ways to see the watch. It's supposed to enact like a positive emotion from the viewer of the watch at the 10 and 2. So, introducing something that looks like a frown or could even mess with that because you see it at a 10 and 2.
Doc, put it at a 10 and 2, Doc.
What?
Put
Put
it
it
at
at
the 10
a
and 2.
10 and 2.
We want to see the smile. We don't want to see frowns.
I just take
That's
a
right,
picture.
Doc.
I don't worry about what time it is. I just take the picture. So, but
So
no,
what are we looking at here, Doc?
this is my first generation first Amiga in space. So
2012.
Well,
the
what the
current one
heck?
is an
They
improvement.
didn't come on a bracelet, Doc. They did not come on a bracelet.
That's a Forrester bracelet with an Omega clasp.
That's
I'm a mod
fucking
guy.
disgusting, Doc. I knew you did something
Maybe.
here wrong. I sensed it.
Maybe.
It does look nice,
Maybe.
but let's be honest. It gives me ticks. I'm ticking right now. I'm ticking.
But
Hey,
but you see, the first generation only came on leather.
Yeah, I know that's disappointing.
And as you said, yeah, that's probably one of the major disappointments for
Yeah.
the first.
And even that
first
leather
generation.
strap was pretty shitty, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was mediocre at best.
Yeah,
So what
yeah,
is-
yeah.
So what is the story with this Basel?
Basil? Basil
Yeah,
What
what?
did he say?
the
He's out.
Basel in this watch.
He's saying it's a pulsations insert.
Yeah, he
Which is
probably
attached.
fucking changed it. Jesus Christ, Doc.
Oh, yeah, well, because I'm a chiropractor. I sometimes have to take people's pulse. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus, my goodness, Doc. You are something else. And guess what? I
Hey,
fucking
but this
love
is
it. I love it, and I hate myself for loving it.
but that's a 1962 generation pulsation.
Of course, it's a
bezel. It took me a
Franken
while to
watch.
find it.
It's a totally Franken. Are you kidding me, guys?
If you
Do
go
you have
on
anything
eBay or
that's
whatever
not?
now, you're going to get a pulsation that came out in the 70s. This is a 60s pulsation bezel.
I see. I
A lot of
understand.
comments in the chat for you, Doc. Obviously, rounding off
I should look at them.
Yeah, definitely. Rounding off the Moser piece, I did. So I've tried on Muhammad Ali's red fume dial Pioneer. Loved it. I didn't really mind the bigger size than the 42. I think they brought it down to 40 as well now. But it's just a weird one because this was supposed to be Moser's sport watch, the Pioneer, entry level. Kind of cool fume dial. But then they released the Streamliner, which is a way better watch pair. Like I agree with you. Like I think the Streamliner is that's the only one I would consider. I wouldn't consider the Pioneer unfortunately anymore. But yeah, just kind of a strange one. And like I said, I showed you guys how it looks. It's not super impressive, but that's kind of. I wasn't that impressed by this watch. Patek Chris, $349 New Zealand dollars. Moser watches are popular in Philafushi. I don't know what that means. Philafushi. Okay, so I had a topic for you guys that actually started on Marcelo's channel, and I asked Marcelo, and it's actually funny that Marcelo's on the panel now, to really talk about. I asked him a question like, "What do you think is the best entry level Rolex watch?" And he kind of didn't answer the question. Obviously, I had a question about entry level, and he took the question as, "What is the best Rolex to suggest to somebody that's looking to buy their first Rolex?" So he responded with the Submariner, and I thought in my mind, and I was like, you know what, like when you think of this, if it was me, and Marcelo was like, he said Submariner, and then he said absolutely not to the Datejust, right? He basically, that was his statement: buy a Submariner, not a Datejust. And I actually kind of disagreed with him on that one. We got one super chat here for you, Marcelo. Bear Clooney watches $2 Canadian. Happy birthday and happy New Year to Marcelino.
Thank you.
So yeah, Marcelo was like, do not buy a Datejust, buy a Submariner. And in my mind, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is such groupthink that we have in the
Mhm.
collector sphere, and we're so small when it comes to the mass market because when I think normal non-watch collectors,
Datejust
non-enthusiasts,
is going to be by far the most popular Rolex watch.
right? Like,
Also, can I just add in that if you ask a woman which one is best, they're almost always going to say the Datejust over the Submariner.
And I'm going to
But
expand on that, and I'm going to say if you ask anyone who is not a watch geek, they are going to always point at the Datejust being nicer than any Rolex sub.
yeah, but Bear, here is the thing. I mean, of course, when we are into Rolex, I wouldn't even mention the sub. I would say, no, Daytona. But here is the thing. The reason I mentioned the sub is the same thing as the
Because you're giving recommendation as a watch guy. You're a watch geek.
as a tool, yeah, and also as a tool thing. Because, for example, if you ask me what would be the best Casio to buy, you automatically would tell me
Well,
G-Shock.
why is
You
a
know?
tool thing? How is a sub better as a tool thing than modern Datejust?
This is a good one. You're absolutely right. Because today,
So
in
you're not
general,
gonna be able to go deeper than 100 meters in the water.
exactly,
I
and
mean,
now all Rolex are pretty much robust, so you can do the same thing like you can do with a sub. You can do even with a day date. You're absolutely right on that.
yeah, exactly.
But is the sub. Is almost like for me a Casio G-Shock. If you buy a Casio, the
Right.
G-Shock is the one to go. It's like the most recognizable, uh, historically as a robust tool thing, and is a very kind of yeah, this is the Rolex you have. But is this kind of simple Rolex to have. Other people would probably um would actually say that the Explorer One would be the one to own, like the tool simple watch, and maybe they're right. So it would
let,
be between
let me grab this.
the.
Let me grab the super chat here, Marcelo, and then we'll get Doc's take on it. Doc, this is for you from David. I think Dave, the super collector, $2.99 Australian dollars. Doc, thoughts? Remedial massage. My Cairo ain't helping.
Interesting question. So most people probably don't know what remedial massage refers to, but it actually means it's kind of like hands-on. So when chiropractors are doing their adjustments, usually, of course, they have to touch you, but for it to be more of a massage, they're actually really touching, and that's the remedial. I prefer doing Reiki style because I don't like touching people. So I'm not touching you at all. I'm doing it completely Reiki chiropractor. So there you go on that.
There
I'm a
we
little
go.
different.
So my response to Marcelo is, I would recommend if someone's just looking for, their first Rolex or what have you, I would be recommending the Datejust because, again, we look at this in such a small sphere and there's a lot of
Yeah.
groupthink that goes on here. Everybody kind of like, the first thing you do when when you enter the, enthusiast sphere is you start going on YouTube or the forums and everybody's just kind of saying the same thing because there's a lot of people that are new to the game that are learning, right? Like I remember when Marco Ferrante came on here just spruiking Rolex and the dude never even owned a Rolex. And I was like sitting there like, what the fuck is this kid saying? Like,
So you know what, then in that the reverse question to you, I would ask you in reverse, what would be, let's say, the first Patek that you would recommend as a first Patek ever?
yeah, that's a good question. Let me get the super chat from Skies and I'll answer that question for you. Skies and Boys, £2 British. Sir Winston Churchill wore a Datejust. Very, very cool. First Patek Philippe. Okay, so maybe give me some context. So is this somebody who's not a watch collector, not a watch enthusiast, or just somebody who doesn't know if they will become one or not? Just what is the basic, and
I guess okay. In this way, I'm going to ask you this question in two ways. One, that
Mhm,
a person that are, let's say, like me, that pretty much in the watch community and never own a Patek and want a
mhm,
Patek. This is question number one.
mhm.
And question number two would be for a person that I just heard that Patek is is a very elegant watch. I'm not a watch collector, and I wear only
Can I just interrupt
one
you?
watch.
I want to say something about Patek versus Rolex.
Yeah.
Dan, I wore my Patek Aquanaut to Serbia, right?
Yep.
And visited some family, and they don't really know much about the watches, but they know that I'm a watch guy, and they all ask me, "Is that a Rolex?" I said, "No, it's a Patek Philippe." And they say, "Oh, you should get a Rolex."
Yeah.
I mean, literally every single person from my family thought that I should aspire to get a Rolex after all, instead of
This
wearing
is
that strange watch on the rubber. Um, I
this is
thought
amazing.
All right.
I was. It's such a perfect explanation of how outside world looks at
Yeah,
watches.
and that's exactly the topic I wanted to talk about is the
Yeah.
outside world versus us. Let me get the super chat, Marcelo, because I want to answer your questions.
Yeah.
Patrick B, $10. Here's for proper start time, good watch talk, and getting past Marcelo's birthday. Thank God. Okay, so Marcelo, let me answer your question. So first part of it was somebody who's in the watch community. So that in and of itself, immediately I'm gonna tell them to buy a sports version of the Patek Philippe because they're in the watch community, and in the watch community, there's a lot of groupthink. And if you're diving into your first Patek Philippe, just like I did, by the way, my first Patek Philippe was not a Calatrava, was not a Grand Complication, was not a complication. It was a Nautilus. And I was kind of that same guy, right? I was in the community and everybody's saying,
Yeah.
buy this, and there's always like sports, right? So I would always say sports Patek for the first Patek Aquanaut, a guy like Bear, right? He, a great watch for him is his first Patek Philippe.
Yeah.
He gets to try the brand, see if he likes it, see if he doesn't. Because when you buy your first Patek, you either get bit by the bug of like the history and you dive more into like learning about them, and then you gravitate to the complications, right? If it's somebody who's not in the watch community, Marcelo, I'm going to say the same answer. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's the exact same thing Bear said, right? Like, people don't recognize, like, if you're spending that much money on a Patek Philippe, generally speaking, you know the brand. And if you know the brand, you're going to want something that identifies with the brand and is probably the most identifiable. If you buy a Calatrava, you buy a Complication, you buy a Grand Complication, like it's a circular watch. You can't tell that apart from a Vacheron or from anything else. So that's why it's always for me going to be sports Patek for somebody who's new. I don't like to say that because I really believe that there's a lot more depth in the brand, but I just feel that if you go to the Calatrava first, Marcelo, like you may, especially if you're in the watch community, you may get deterred by, just people not liking it, or putting it down or whatever it is, because they just don't appreciate what it is. And it makes it hard to appreciate that. So that's my answer to your question. I know you had a follow up.
I just imagine Bear there. It's like, I recommend you to get the Rolex. I imagine Bear probably looking the guy and said, "Yeah, you're absolutely right. Right? You
No,
probably
look,
did."
Marcelo, for me, this is why I thought everybody was absolutely nuts to not bring a Patek Philippe to London. Like Archie, who wouldn't bring his World Time because of the crime. I'm like, think about it. Bear has an identifiable Patek Philippe. The Aquanaut is very identifiable, like the Nautilus, right? So if the if people can't identify that, like, what do you think they're gonna identify Archie's fucking World Time? Like, come on. But I mean, that is important, right? So where I was going with this topic was, how small of a sphere and I'm going to give you an analogy, a car analogy. Unfortunately, Jay Anthony's not here. If he's listening, he'll probably understand this. Maybe everybody on the panel, maybe Doc will get this one. So it's like asking somebody, what's the best, 3 Series BMW I should get, right? And a car enthusiast or a car collector will say, get the M3 because the M3 retains the best value. It's the more powerful, car, but if you think about it, like most people don't really care about that, like they just want a 3 Series. They want a BMW. They're just buying it because it's a BMW, right?
Yeah.
And so I
It's
would not.
interesting. Somebody in the Archieverse is asking the same question about Audi, and the answer is the same, just like you said. In my opinion, you get the S series rather than the A. You get the M rather than the standard because it's also a more durable car.
Well, think of it like this, Doc, right? It's like when somebody asked Marcel, like when I asked him that question earlier, and he took it as what is the best first Rolex to get, and Marcelo said, "Hey, get the Submariner because the Submariner is, it's more of a tool. You get the timing bezel, you just get more tech in that watch." than other entry level pieces. It's the same thing like a car enthusiast or a car collector would say, get the M3 because it's the more powerful car that retains the best value. It's the same bullshit we say in the watch collector world.
I think there's more to the story potentially. When I was a kid, when I was 8 years old, my mom got me a watch, and for whatever reason, it was a dive watch. So I remember having a dive watch going to Disneyland when I was 8 years old. Eventually, I needed to have a dive watch as an adult, and the Submariner's perfect. Obviously, I didn't have a Rolex dive watch, but I had some sort of knockoff brand dive watch.
But Doc 10 and also Bear. I mean, the Sub would be a watch that I can go right now to a wedding with a suit, and then they change it and put some flip flops and go to the beach. With shorts.
You can do
Well, he's
exactly
not.
the same with the Datejust.
Yeah, he's not saying it isn't versatile. We know it's versatile. I think though,
No, yeah.
a bit of it
Yeah.
has to do with what you're comfortable with for whatever reason. And so that's why I told the story. I'm comfortable with the dive watch because that's the first watch I remember ever wearing as a child. So I just gravitate to the sports, to the dive watches, and then for whatever reason, chronographs. But that's where I gravitate. Everybody's different.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
My
Doc,
earliest memories and my earliest aspiration toward Rolex was always associated with the design of the Datejust. Like
Yep.
when I was a kid or whatever, and I was picturing the Rolex, I was never picturing the Sub or GMT, or I was picturing Datejust.
Yep.
Or maybe that was a date, but a classic Rolex, right? Um, Later on, with becoming a watch enthusiast and getting to know more about watches and exploring Rolex professional side of the watches more, you start to kind of become more intrigued by it, and you start to see a beauty in something that's relatively rudimentary looking. But the beauty of the Rolex as a aspirational watch is in its glitziness and its luxurious appeal,
Yep.
and that can be achieved. The cheapest way to achieve that is really in the steel Datejust.
Yep.
Yeah, but
100%.
Bear, you're talking about that when we talk with Sad. Sad said that he had a big problem to explain to his father why it's okay to buy a steel Rolex, because
yeah, but let's not rabbit hole on the Datejust. I want to talk about the topic of like, the rest of the world of the masses versus the small world of the watch collecting sphere that we have, the watch collecting space, right? So, kind of the question when I use the car example, it's like if you're just part of the masses and you're looking to buy a 3 Series, right? You're looking for something that's BMW that identifies as BMW. And it's funny because if you ever ask a car collector or a car enthusiast, they'll say, buy this car because it retains the best value or it's more powerful. The same analogy, the same thing Marcelo said, buy the Submariner because Steel Sports retains the best value and you get, a more improved watch over, for example, a Datejust, which does not retain as good value, doesn't have, in his viewpoint, obviously more tech in terms of, being more of a tool for diving. And that's how like twisted this is, right? And it comes to the question where I asked Cap a little later. So I'm talking about Marcelo's show. A little later, I asked Captain. Captain comes on Marcelo's show, and I asked Captain. I say, Captain, what is the watch to wear if you want to stand out at Watch Time New York? Asking for the first time attendee. And Cap starts listing. What was he listing, Marcelo? He was listing all these like dress watches, right?
the OVR or something, that the independent watch like that.
Yeah, so he said, look, Watch Time New York is mostly an independence brand show. So you should wear an independent. And, obviously he listed a lot of dress watches. He did list the Urwerk. And I kind of said to Cap, I said, it's so funny that like whenever I ask this question to people, or even OC who went to like Watches and Wonders 2 years ago and said on camera, I don't understand this. Like everybody's wearing a dress watch and I can't tell them apart, right? Because I think in his mind, because he was so new to this, I think in his mind, he thought he was going to go there and everyone's going to be fucking, bro slapping each other with like fucking, yacht masters and stuff. Like, no, like when you go to a watch event, the brands and people that are big into watch collecting and stuff like that. I mean, they're buying high-end dress watches, and that's what I'm saying. This collector sphere we're in, Marcelo, is actually very very insular, a lot of groupthink, and realistically, like the rest of the world doesn't see it that way.
Yeah, but then the question when you asked that question, we all thought about, okay, what would be the watch that I can wear that almost for sure nobody else would have it, that I can pop as unique, as special, you know?
We got 30 Danny in the chat. So if we got 30 Danny in the chat, we got to do a little bit of vintage talk for him. He said, but would a Datejust go with the jogging track? Yeah, 100%, man. Like Bear saw me wearing a perpetual calendar with like a hoodie and a baseball cap at.
Yeah, I actually think that looks, to be very honest with you, that's cool. That's actually cooler than wearing it the way it's supposedly meant to be.
Well, I believe it should be worn whatever way the owner wants it to be worn, right? Like when I bought that blue strap bear, like the day I got the perpetual calendar, I immediately went to Humbertown, which is the Patek AD in Toronto, because I picked the watch up from our mutual friend in Toronto, and I was on.
Do they still? They don't have a Patek anymore. Did they lose Patek, Humbertown?
I don't think so. I think they're still. I was there like maybe last year, so I don't. And it happened like.
I overheard that they lost. Okay, but just I heard that that Patek is gone.
Okay, well, good, because I don't really like that AD. And I'll tell you.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
Yeah. So I don't know if you know the owner of that AD, but
yeah, I do. I don't know him. I know of him.
I've met him a few times. So whenever I used to go to that AD and I'd go into the Patek section of the AD, he would always be like he like was like a hawk. There was no salesperson there that I could schmooze and just talk a bunch of references and then make them bamboozle them to get me something that I want to see. Right? He would always be there and I got into this one altercation with him because I wanted to see the 5170, and he had one, and it was sealed. Right. And I said, "Look, I'm like, I want to see the watch, but I'm not gonna. I'll buy it, but I want to see the watch out of the case." And he refused to take it out, even though I said I was going to buy it, even though I was wearing a Patek Philippe that day, and I actually had every intention to buy that watch. He refused to take it out, so I basically gave him the middle finger, told him to fuck off, and I walked out. Which is nuts because I'm saying I'm committing to buy this watch. I just want to try it on. He refused to do it. I was like, all right, So, anyways, I go there because it's the only AD there, and I'm changing the strap from the alligator to the suede blue one that I have, and Higgins is on the phone with me, basically trolling me, saying that is the stupidest thing to do in the world. Why the hell would you do that to a perpetual calendar? You should keep it classy. And I'm like, listen, motherfucker, I want to wear this watch.
By the way, does Higgins sleep in a tuxedo?
No, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I picture. You know how I picture Higgy? I picture Higgy having that silk pajama that basically has like a tuxedo look. You know when they have a T-shirt that look like tuxedo? Higgy has a silk pajama that looks like a tuxedo.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt.
With a bow tie, probably with a bow tie.
Yeah, you know what? When we saw him in the Bloor house, he was actually wearing a very casual clothes,
I know. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
It's just a visual. It's what we picture in our minds.
The visual, man. Visual.
Yeah, he's very casual. So, and it's funny. So I'm like, I don't listen to Higgins, and then the first thing I do after I put it on that blue suede strap, and I'm obviously driving back to my hometown, I stop at Popeyes, and I'm eating Popeyes chicken, wearing the perpetual calendar on this new strap I got. So, I found that very funny. But for me, it's like that's what watches are about, right? You should be enjoying them the way you want to enjoy them. There's no, and this is to the topic of the masses versus how insular we are in watch collecting sphere is to us, it's like, well, we typecast that as a dress watch. And, it's a special occasion. Archie was like, oh, it's a special occasion watch. I mean, I'm sitting there eating fucking Popeye's chicken, and getting grease all over it, not caring, because to me, it's something I think I have to enjoy, right? They're meant to enjoy.
Hey, you have somebody in the panel that wearing a Lamont cleaning dishes. I mean, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, I just think that the Le Mans, look, as much as it is a precious metal piece, it is still a sports model, right? It's meant to be a luxury piece, but yes, it is robust enough if you really were crazy enough to use it, in a sports fashion, I guess. Not as robust as, probably steel would be, but like you could still use it like that. I mean, there's like rumors that Jacques Cousteau was like wearing the 1680 Submariner, but gold when he was diving. So it's like, I mean, people do it. But back to
That's
vintage.
very cool, actually.
Yeah, back to the vintage here for Danny. I believe this is the 4467, the first Datejust ever, and really interesting parts of it here. One of the biggest pieces is there's no Cyclops on the original Datejust, which is like very iconic for the Datejust itself. But the original Datejust didn't have a Cyclops. If you see one
Cyclops
here,
was created later, right? I mean, it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. The Jubilee bracelet, obviously signifying the 40th Jubilee of Rolex as a manufacturer. No Cyclops on this piece. This was the world's first self-winding, automatic date-changing complication piece. So it is a historic. Like, this is the problem with the Datejust, I think, in the watch collecting sphere is it just doesn't, in my opinion, get the respect it deserves. I mean, tons of
and
innovation in this piece, Marcelo.
yeah, and look what you actually putting right now. This is actually what came up to be later the president, because it seems that they just got the respect to be a solid gold piece,
What's that
including
background noise?
I don't think that's me.
is my bird. Don't pay attention. So as soon as I'm going to
Oh,
leave
yeah.
Oh,
I love your
what a
bird.
shock!
yes, you got
I love your
excited.
bird.
So one other piece that's interesting about the Datejust is it does have a fluted bezel, but if you see here, it's just nowhere near as prominent as like a modern fluted bezel. But this is kind of what the fluted bezel originally looked like. So it is cool to kind
Hmm.
of see the evolution of the Datejust. Obviously, if you got like the bigger, like the current 41, or you had the
I think
Datejust,
this is beautiful.
yeah, it's
Look at
just
how proud the crown is on those.
Yeah, guys, this is the beginning of the day. This watch here, exactly.
like Marcelo, you give it so little respect that you don't even acknowledge that it's a model in and of itself. You're just like, yeah, this is just the prototype of the fucking Day, bro. Like,
Yeah, the Datejust is probably least respected watch in the amongst the watch geeks.
Yeah.
why do you think
And
that is?
the
Bro? I'm curious
and
to
the
hear from
most
you guys why.
prolific of Rolex, right?
But why, guys? Doc,
Yeah,
Bear, Marcel, tell me, why do you think it doesn't get any respect or the respect you believe it deserves?
It's the Rodney
I
Dangerfield.
Um,
think. Go ahead.
I th- I think Rolex did a lot of promo and advertisement, especially with the sport pieces that came out. You saw that with the Submariner, and then the GMT. After that, the Cosmograph Rolex that turned up to be later on the Daytona. Daytona was completely. What is amazing about the Daytona, that was all marketing, because they couldn't call that watch Lamont. They actually went to the American market, because that was the bigger market, to advertise that watch for the biggest race that was in the state, that was the Daytona race. So it came into our mind, and it was a brainwash by Rolex to show us this, especially this free sport Rolex. And slowly, they went and starting to show us that this sport Rolex can be also a luxury piece, by already introducing these pieces in gold. Even so, that we do see here a Datejust, and also before a Day that was already in solid gold. We didn't understood that at the time. Even some people still saying that Rolex was only sport versions, and then only now they're starting to do gold pieces. Up to that mind, that some people don't know that Rolex already was making gold pieces in the past.
Yeah, look, it is like, I mean, the Datejust, and this is another thing, right? Is even what Marcelo said is people don't consider the Datejust a sports watch, even though it is a sports watch. It was created as a sports watch. It may not be marketed today in the
Yeah.
professional lineup or whatever of what we consider as steel sports or sports Rolex, but it's like the reversal, right? Originally created as a sports watch. We got Nick Miller here. Really interesting comment. Ryan Gosling in Drive was a stuntman, mechanic, and getaway driver who daily wore a 5196. That's a Calatrava, very thin. I own this one, white gold, and man, that actually does scare me. Nick Miller, that is a very thin watch. I feel that the gold is very soft in it, and I mean it's a pretty delicate movement. I don't know if I'd be banging that one around. So I wanted to pivot to I don't know if you guys have seen me doing these super chats like over the past couple weeks. The take the person shopping, right? And the reason why I do those super chats is because I want to see Archie go into the websites of the brands, maybe find something that he likes. And one brand that I've been hearing a lot about in the past like couple of weeks has been Vacheron. Like everybody seems to be talking about Vacheron Bear. Why is that? I want to maybe look at the collection. Why do you think people are like gravitating to this right now? Like, Bear, not there, maybe. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure this out myself, Doc and Marcelo. So maybe we can start by going to the collection, looking into some of these watches. I'm going to avoid the overseas because the overseas is kind of the one that's played out. Like, I mean, that would be the one everyone looks at. Patrimony collection, again. I don't know, Marcelo, Doc, talk to me here. Like, this is pretty.
Yeah, what do you think about the 1972? This is also a piece that I really like in Vacheron.
I think Bear's back.
Yeah, I had some problems there. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people are talking about Vacheron as well. On like the guy Mark from Caliber and Crown mentioned a couple of times. I see it in the Facebook groups. I see it in the forums. What exactly and why? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm scrolling through these, and Marcelo, we'll get to the 72 when we get because I'm gonna look at a few of the collections, Marcelo.
I love the one that you put in the top a little bit with the blue strap. Yes, this one, the yellow gold with the yeah. This is my favorite here.
Yeah, and look, a very simple watch. Nice dress watch, rose gold, blue strap. But I mean, Marcelo maybe likes it just because of the strap, right? And Aaron Bespoke can get you something very similar without having to spend a shit ton of money, right? So, yeah, I mean, look, simple dress watches, complications like a perpetual calendar. Like, I mean, this is good for like buying it on a super big discount on the secondary market, maybe. But I just don't. I don't know, guys. Like, in this lineup, I don't see anything that's really interesting to me.
No. I had the Vacheron Overseas third generation blue dial, which was a hot watch from Vacheron. I did enjoy it. Maybe one complaint: it weighs a little bit large, to be honest with you. Bracelet is pretty cool. Movement is kind of beautiful. Dial is really gorgeous. Integrated bracelet, the whole cool spiel. But
You're talking overseas?
yeah, overseas.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I had it. I sold it. I don't miss it. I have to say I'm enjoying Aquanaut much more, and I think primarily because the way it wears on my wrist. It's thin. It wears really elegant. It doesn't. I forget it's on my wrist. I genuinely do. The movement is about the same. Nothing. I don't know. Neither one is overly impressive, to be frank with you. I don't know. I mean, Vacheron, like, what is about the Vacheron? I think it has a lot to do with the history. It has a lot to do with the fact that it's being usually considered as the holy trinity of the horology. It carries a lot of weight from that perspective. But I honestly, if I scroll up and down there, there's nothing I really want.
And Bear, if you buy this watch that costs nearly double, if not triple, the price of let's say Rolex Datejust or something, you still can go visit your family, and they're going to see you with this watch, and they're still going to tell you should buy a Rolex.
I want to answer Dear Artifacts question. A good friend of ours in Canada, Patel, you may have already spoken about this. Just jumping on now. What are your thoughts on the new First Omega in space? I'm going to give you a very, very. I was the harshest one on the panel. Dear Artifact about this watch. I think I was. To me, this watch is just all dial in a watch that honestly, I mean, who cares about a first Omega in space? It's not the first watch in space, right? It's not like the first watch on the moon, like the moon watch. It's not an iconic watch. It's a commemorative watch. Commemorative watches to me, I mean, you know, and which is actually kind of ironic because I'm wearing one right now, the Explorer 40 on my wrist, which is a commemorative watch. But overall, outside of the one I'm wearing, I don't really care for them. And, you know, I don't feel that I like the dial. I think it's cool. It's not enough to make me want to lust after that watch, and I think it's just kind of be a passe. We're gonna forget about it in 2 weeks. Doc
Well,
actually, yeah, sorry.
I was
Go ahead,
going to
Doc.
say it's certainly a niche thing. You have to be, I think, to really appreciate it, you have to be somebody who's a vintage fan, and most people are into modern, quite honestly. So they're really trying to grab a limited audience with this watch.
I'm going to interrupt this with one question for Tan. I would not be able to answer this. What I could not guess what Tan answer would be. Tan, what is your favorite Omega watch?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it's simple. Ed White 321. I love that watch. It's an enthusiast's piece. I just, you know, I mean, I love the Moonwatch. The Moonwatch is obviously the second for me, and for me, that's kind of a one and done in Omega. I've tried to love the Seamaster. I just can't. So for me, it's like right now, if you were to say which one would you take, one and done, 321 Ed White, because obviously legendary movement. You know, really cool piece. I like the smaller size. I think it's in 39. Yeah, just they, you know, and I'm on the list on my AD. I've been on the list for fucking forever. We've just never. I don't know if your AD seen one, Bear. But mine has not seen one at all.
My AD hasn't received one yet since it was introduced. Um, to build on that question now, Tan,
Mhm.
what would you buy if you are forced to buy something from Vacheron?
Yeah, that's well, I mean, that's a fairly simple. It's a fairly simple question, a very simple answer, but it's kind of a cop out. I'm not gonna say the overseas realistically. I'm gonna say the 222. You know, and I think the 222, you know, obviously cool history. I do like it. I think it's really cool. I don't really need the. Everyone's kind of lusting over a steel one. I'd be cool with the precious metal 222. Yeah, just cool, man. It's vintage. You know, it's got the. Yeah, I think it's got the JLC movement in it. Like it's yeah, man, 222 all day.
It's well done. It's a well done watch. I give you credit. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good pick.
But that's a cop out. So I'm gonna maybe find you another one that's not an overseas, that is not a that's not the 222 obviously. I'm gonna actually look at the traditional lineup. I actually really like this. Our friend Swiss has one. Last year Corrado Galizia, you know, he got a really crazy deal on one on Moda. I was tracking the auction and it was just a just a very standard you know, it was basically like this one, the green one. I don't think they make his model anymore, but it was basically like this. Small seconds, similar to a Calatrava, like a 5196. Just a beautiful watch, very very balanced. I think this is a beautiful one. But I would probably be picking something in this lineup. Maybe more complications. Maybe you know I would be looking at more traditional pieces if I was buying Vacheron. That's the easy cop out. And if you were to go really really crazy, Bear, I love this collection, the Métier d'Art collection, and I really do like all these different, you know, I don't know if you guys ever look at these collections, but
I did.
yeah, like look at this snake one, man. Like this is pretty cool.
I knew you were going to like the snaky.
I like the collection with the hot air balloon.
Yeah, like this would be a really like fun one to get, right? Like, very very. You'd get like like if I'm gonna get a Vacheron, I'm really not gonna buy
The
many.
fuckers that buy this, they buy the series of them. They buy this as an art, as a collection of art pieces.
But that's what I'm getting at, right? Is if I'm gonna buy a Vacheron, I'm gonna buy one that like really is super special, and you know, for me, is just not gonna be something that I'm gonna lust another one, lust after another one. So like this one, the line of Darius, this is the Persian Empire one. I know Archie loves this one. I love this one. I think it's super cool. It's kind of got cuneiform on it, script here on it, like really really cool. And it's a nod to like obviously pre-Islamic Persian Empire.
Very cool.
Yeah, just like yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with this one, Bear. I'm gonna go. This is my one and done Vacheron. I'm gonna pick this one. It's the one that's not the usual overseas type answer, right? So,
out of curiosity, what does that retail at?
I don't think the price is listed because they're so. I think they're limited to like 5 or something. Like they're really small. But that's what I'm getting at, Doc. Is like it's gonna be so rare and so special that like I'm not gonna be able to go there and Bear's gonna be like, I got myself a 4500V blue dial too, buddy. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's just it'll be the ultimate flex. All right, Luxy Poo, you are up. I gotta get in the chat and see if we can drive some of these topics in a different way, my friend.
No worries. Thank you, Patel.
See you, boys. I'll leave it in Luxy's hands, guys. I'm gonna see you guys next time.
All right, take it easy, Tans.
Take care. Bye. Hey, Bear. Hey, who else we got? We got Marcelo, and we got
Dog BBW, and we have a bird.
Here we have a bird.
How's everyone doing?
We're doing well. It was a good watch talk. I am kind of having a mixed feelings about the new first Omega in space. We're doing a little bit of shopping on the Vacheron watches. It was relaxing. It was fun, and while doing all this, I'm actually tracking my bunny's flight because she is coming from Europe now. She kind of extended her stay, going to a couple of other countries. So she just landed. I'm happy to see her back. And I'm going to be leaving soon because I'm on a FaceTime with her and Kat Clooney.
Okay, no worries. So is she on holiday or business or?
Yeah, we were together. We went together to Europe. I went to Serbia, where I'm from. Spent some time with my mom and my brother. And I came back. She also went to Slovenia. She went to Italy, and she went to Austria. So she had a little bit of a tour throughout that part of the world. I'm not a big traveler. I made it clear numerous times that I don't like to travel. So I was dutiful to go and see my family. And when that was done, I came back, and she continued her journey through that part of Europe.
You are very lucky, Bear, to have such a loving relationship between yourself and Mrs. Bear, and your whole family, of course, but especially that.
Yeah, she tolerates a lot of my weirdness. She tolerates a lot of my strange behavior. She's just perfect wife, honestly. I don't want to sound crazy when I say that, but yeah, she's perfect for me, honestly. And
She
I love her so
tolerates
much.
she tolerates this insane hobby so much so
Yeah.
that
Hey, listen,
she's even active
jumped
in
on
it.
board. Yeah, she's very active. She loves watches, no question about it. And she's not a like ladies, buy like diamonds, this. No. You know what she was wearing in Europe? She was wearing a Junghans watch, 100 the Bauhaus anniversary edition, which was also because she wanted to visit the Bauhaus Museum in Austria. So it was kind of cool. I honestly appreciate that side of her.
So she's actually a mini watch nerd.
She's a mini nerd. Yes. That's very true. You got a big super chat,
Yes.
Luxy.
We got a humongous super chat from our good friend Patek Philippe, 50 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much, Patel. He's saying, thanks for joining me on the panel, guys. Much appreciated. And we appreciate Tan for
as far as I'm
everything
concerned, it was a pleasure. So when I saw Tanzil, just like Bear said, when I saw Tanzil running the show, I said, "Ooh, let me
he's really
jump on."
good. When he talks watches, it's fucking like a ride in a park. It's he's just a guy that he's fucking enthusiastic about the watches. So
Yep.
talk about the watches with him is always fun for other geeks. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have another super chat from Pavel.
Pavel, thank you so much, Pavel. $2 US. Thank you, Pavel. If Lux leaves right now, Can we save Archie £15? Well, I'm not charging Archie anything. So, I
Jesus
wish I was
Christ.
getting £15.
Yeah, well, listen, and we don't want Lux to leave anywhere. Lux is one of the most loyal, most hardworking people in the Archieverse, and Archie is lucky to have a friend and supporter and co-worker like Lux. That's all I'm gonna say. On that note, by what
Yes,
with
you gotta go.
washing your balls, Luxy Poo. Guys, have a great show. Thank you so much for having me on, and see you very, very soon. Guys
Bye.
in the chat, please remember to upvote. Remember to throw in a few little bucks as a super chat. We do want to keep this platform alive. We all enjoy it for different reasons. So help us out. Help us out, guys.
I
Thank
have
you
one
all.
quick question for the bear before he leaves. When you go
Yeah.
to pick up your honey bunny,
Yeah, I'm not picking her up. I'm in a different city right now. Kat Clooney is picking her up, and then we're gonna FaceTime, and I'm gonna go down actually next week because it's a Thanksgiving weekend. I had to come to work, Doc. I had to come to work.
because
Oh,
I
it's
I
Thanksgiving
was just
already?
wondering if you dress special when you go to pick her up at the
Oh
airport.
God, no, I never. Me dressing, come on, Doc. It's always the same. It's a polo, one of Lacoste shirts, one of many Lacoste shirts, Dockers, and that's it. I'm dressed. Is that a work, funeral, a wedding, whatever? I always ask, can I come to the wedding in a golf shirt, a polo shirt?
It's
So
dress
Can we get
casual. It's dress
yeah,
casual. There's nothing wrong with dress casual.
can,
dress casual, exactly.
can we get Bear in a Ralph Lauren sash polo shirt? Is that possible?
yes. Yeah, I don't have one. I have Ralph Lauren, but just with a
Can I send you
horse.
one, Bear? Can I send you one?
No, I don't want you to have the
I
expense
gave
for
one to
that.
Tan. Tan liked it.
I know. If I would be coming to gathering, yes, but just like that, no need
Right,
for that.
right,
Thank
right.
you, though, bro. Thank you. I love you guys. I love
Bye,
you all
bye.
very much. Take
Take it
Thank
care.
easy,
you.
Bear. It's
Bye,
always
bye,
good
bye,
to see you.
bye. We got some support in the chat. We got Sirty Danny in the house. Hello, hello, hello. He's saying, good job, Tan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know if anyone spoke about this before. There's a new auction called Time for Art. Has anyone ever heard of this? They had one 2 years ago. It's in connection with Philips auction house. It's going to be on December the 7th, but it's not just any auction. It's kind of similar to Only Watch, where brands make a special one-off piece for something good. So with Only Watch, it was a charity, I believe, that had some issues. Was it this year? I think it was this year, wasn't it? It had issues regarding their accounting, and a lot of brands backed out. So this one is called Time for Art. It's the first and only benefit watch auction to support contemporary art and artists. So there's a lot of brands that are supporting. We've got brands such as Armstrong, we've got Beaver watches, we've got Breitling, Bulgari, we've got all the heavy hitters, Chopard, Chanel, even HYT is there.
I wonder if they like being pronounced beaver. I have no idea.
What's the correct beaver?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm just saying, I'm just wondering if they might say vive. I don't know, but I'm just saying, do they like being pronounced beaver? Because has different connotations.
Well, it's his name, right? Yeah. How did Jean-Claude Bivar? Yeah.
So anyway,
Patel Philippe, a very kind super chat from Patel. $2 Canadian. Lux, show me the best Rolex to impress tarts in Leeds. Fuck, tarts in Leeds. Shit. What is gonna be
you've thought about this before, right?
I never even
sorry,
been
you're
to
married
Leeds.
now. You don't think about it.
Hey, I'm a man. Men think about.
So that's what I
lots of
thought.
things.
So you think about it. We know we think about it. You may not say anything out loud, but you think about it.
Tarts and leads. Okay, it's got to be. Okay, I'll bring up something that might impress tarts and leads. How about
in a Rolex?
Yeah, in a Rolex. How about this? I'm going to bring it up. Let's bring it up. And do you think this because it's blingy, right? Blingy. But they might think I'm gay though. That's the problem because of the rainbow thing. So because they probably don't understand, right? That rainbows don't have to be.
I think it's the diamonds on the lugs that might give it away, in terms of the gay part.
Okay.
I actually like that watch.
I like it.
I don't know that I'd wear it, but I do like it. But I think that most women would be impressed with, and we were kind of on this topic before you came on, most women would be most impressed with a Datejust, a fancy Datejust, but a Datejust. So you get a gold Datejust with the right dial on it. That's what probably the tarts and leads are going to be the most excited about.
Yeah, it's got to be gold and blingy, right? It can't.
I understand from a certain Archieverse member, not going to say who it was that told me this first time, but apparently most strippers can recognize a Datejust in the dark based upon the loom and the layout. This is what I'm told.
What about a meteorite dial Datejust? Would they appreciate that with the diamonds on the indices?
Do they have such a thing?
Yeah, it's on
in
the
a Datejust. I know that they have
Oh,
that.
sorry. Date. Yeah, shit. Sorry.
But do they have a meteorite Datejust? I don't know. I don't think they do, but I don't know if
they do. But it's a
that's
feminine
a meteorite.
Yeah, but it's a 31 ladies.
Oh, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
So I think the Datejust is very cool, and I think the meteorite makes it even more cool.
Yeah, how come they don't do a Datejust with men's size? Do they not? Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. There is. Datejust 41 mil 116300 stainless steel.
And that's a meteorite, huh?
Yeah.
I don't
like the smooth bezel.
Is it platinum?
It says it's stainless steel. I don't think would this be someone's messed with the dial and changed everything?
I think that you probably can get it with a fluted bezel. I'm thinking you can, but maybe.
Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's fake. That's not even real. That's not even a real. It's a replica watch form.
Well, honestly, the dials look kind of weird compared to, the meteorite dials that you were pulling up, where clearly they're from ADs. There's something very I don't know what it is. It almost looks, on those last two that you pulled up, it almost looks like the dial is burnished in some way. There's something wrong with it. But that might be the way it is. I prefer the cleaner meteorite dial that was on the date.
Yes. Same.
That ends up just looking like it almost looks as if the crystal is smudged or something. I mean, it doesn't quite. The clarity isn't there.
Let me. It is actually. Let me see.
It looks odd.
I'm going to click on to the actual link. Here we go. It's from a dealer called Jewel Time, and $15,000 US.
Does it say what their phone number is or what their contact information is?
Contact us.
In the forums, on the Rolex forums, it says that if you go to a site and they don't give you their address and phone number, there's a good chance that it's fake.
Well, it says in here that since 1998, obviously anyone could say that. But I
Right.
think it's real.
Somewhere somewhere it's supposed to tell you for contacting.
Ah, here we go. However, our location is not usually relevant
See, that
to
makes
the
it sound
ability
fake to
to
me.
do business. Yeah, it's a bit weird, right?
Although at least they have a phone number there. You could verify
They
that
do.
the phone number is legitimate.
It's not. It is not a brick and mortar store, so there is not a physical location to shop. But we have a wonderful online store. Hmm.
I'd be a little more suspicious of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, be a little more suspicious.
We got a couple of super chats. We got Patel very kindly, $5 Canadian. Thank you. Lux Report commentary on the video. Paid ice cream reviews. Have a streets gay time with ArchieLuxury. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'll bring it up. Give me a second. What's it called? Paid ice cream review. Archie hasn't done a paid ice cream review for a very long time, has he?
I don't recall one in the last 5 years.
Oh, paid ice cream review gay. Have a street gay time with Archie. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, here we go. This video, yeah, 6 years ago. This is 6 years ago. I'll bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. And by the way, I think the link is pinned. If anyone wants to jump on, they're welcome to. Archie's a bit busy today doing business things. So that's the reason why Tan and everyone is here to support. Bear.
Hey
Always some
guys,
kind of business.
ArchieLuxury. Guess what, fuckaroonies? Today it's ArchieLuxury ice cream reviews, fuckers. Ice cream reviews. And this is a special flavor, one of my all-time favorite flavors from childhood.
Oh, what is it? Vanilla?
It is Streets Blue Ribbon
Never
Gay Time.
vanilla.
Have you ever heard of that thing? Gay time. What is
Never,
it? Vanilla?
ever.
What is it?
Blue Ribbon.
He doesn't like vanilla. It's too boring.
It is. I never go for vanilla because it's boring, right? You got to go for chocolate or some kind of caramel. Or...
And of course, for me, vanilla is my favorite. It's what I always get. But most people, they need something more interesting.
It says it's got. I think it's got toffee flavor of biscuit crumbs.
Gay time ice cream.
Okay, so it says creamy blue ribbon vanilla and golden gay time toffee flavor. But yeah,
I'm also kind of weird.
Have...
I like to have my vanilla plain without anything in it. The more sprinkles and things, the more it looks like somebody dropped it.
If I'm gonna have vanilla ice cream, it has to be with clotted cream. Have you ever tried clotted cream mixed with ice cream?
I have to say, I've never have.
Can you get clotted cream in America? Because it's a Cornish delicacy. From
Might be able
Cornwall.
to. You probably have to search for it. There's probably places where you can get it, but you'd have to search for it.
Patel Philippe, where did you get that idea? Clotted cream with vanilla ice cream. Hey, I just thought, fuck, fat and fat mixed together. It's got to be a great combo, right?
And
So
it
I
can't just be cream. It has to be clotted cream.
Yeah, full
That
fat.
sounds like it's even healthier.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's more delicious. Try it. If anyone's able to get clotted cream, try it.
Gay time. And I got to tell you, this was a premium ice cream when I was a kid. When I was a lad, fuckaroonies. And I got to tell you, it is absolutely amazing that they got a bucket. A bucket. I'm going to try.
The color is a bit weird, right?
It kind of looks like French vanilla in a way.
Yeah, it's so yellow, isn't it?
Well, it's a little more yellowy than French vanilla. Yeah.
I'm going to try this.
How much do you reckon he's going to eat in the next 2 minutes of this whole tub?
I'm going to guess 1/4 of it.
All right.
Time, fuckaroonies. Ooh, nice, crispy.
Sorry, Danny says
Oh, he's eating
vanilla
directly
ice
out of the
cream.
container.
Yes.
Very
marking
nice.
his territory. No one else is going to want to eat that.
Oh, fuck, don't waste it.
Sorry, Danny says vanilla ice cream
Daytime ice cream.
is the black sub of watches. Simple but loved by most.
It's very sweet. It's got a little bit of nougat in it. Caramel toffee. Man, did I love gay times.
He's so natural, isn't he? When he
It's got
says
crunchy bits in it.
Now, that's the brand name.
Creamy blue ribbon
well,
vanilla.
the brand
and
name is Wool.
Golden Gate.
Walls. Do you have Wool? You got Walls in America, haven't you? Walls ice cream.
I don't know.
So it's Walls Blue Ribbon, and then the actual flavor is called Golden Gay Time.
I see. Golden Gay Time. Yeah, I'm sure that's. I'm sure it's just completely innocent naming. I'm sure they weren't going for anything risque. I'm
to
sure.
have a Golden Gay Time, it means you're just having a happy time, right?
Well, I'm not a professional about this. I'm not an expert about this, but I'm thinking if they had it as two different words, gay time, then you could argue, oh, they just mean having a happy time. They just, that's all they mean. They didn't. I don't know. I'm suspicious. They made it one word and everything. I'm very suspicious.
Well, hey, Archie loves it.
Daytime toffee flavor with biscuit crumbs.
Jeez, he's
Delicious fuckaroonies.
he's fucking devouring this shit, isn't he? Let's see how much he eats.
I'm telling you, he's going to get at least 1/4 of it eaten. All right, at least 1/4. I said 1/4 before. I meant at least 1/4.
I'm still eating it. I'm skipping through. He's still eating it. Oh, he's closing the lid.
So I got it pretty close. He ate 1/4 of it.
Fuck.
He's got to save it for another hour later. Can't just
You
eat it all
can't be
in the first
happier
hour.
than with Golden Gate Time.
You know what would have been even better if he closed the lid and then started opening it and re-eating it again. But he doesn't do that. He just ends it. There you go, guys. If you want to take your screenshot, there's your screenshot. This is why we love Archie. How many watch people do you know that love Golden Gay Time?
Jeez. I'm still a little bit puzzled by their choice of name on that, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. By the way, didn't Archie say he was looking to get a Vacheron Constantin? I think I heard him say he's looking to buy one.
Well, he talks about getting something like that because it's cheap, and that's his favorite thing is to get something that's a little less hot for everybody else. So,
isn't it Vacheron that does the driving watch? Isn't it the historic? No, it's the They have a driving watch, don't they? From Vacheron. Is it Vacheron? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
And you got the dial is at an angle because when you're driving, you normally have it at the angle.
Honestly, that would probably drive me crazy because most of the time I'm not driving. I kind of like the standard because most of the time I'm not in the car.
They used to have a blue one, I think, but it seems to not be here anymore.
Blue dial?
Blue strap. I think. I didn't know.
They may well have different strap. Yeah. I remember
yeah.
one dark blue, but it may have been aftermarket. But I remember seeing one with a dark blue, which is kind of nice.
Which one would you get out of these 4 options? White gold, pink gold?
Because they don't come stainless, huh?
No, it doesn't seem that way. It just seems we've got 2 options.
So
Gold.
I'd probably go white gold. I think it looks the cleanest.
Anyone in the chat, let me know. Would, if you had the funds available, would any of you guys purchase this? I really like it. I do.
Those are expensive, though.
Yeah, I think it says 33,000 Swiss francs. What's that, about 35, 40,000 US?
35,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are pretty expensive, so you better like it a lot. And also, of course, well, you know what? It might, on the used market, maybe it's actually less than 35.
Yeah, I'm going to look at Chrono right now.
I don't know if they hold their value that well.
Okay, here we go. On Chrono 24, ooh, $15,000.
Yeah. So you know, if you're getting one used or gray, maybe not too bad if it happens to be a watch you're in love with.
No box, no papers, from 2018.
I'm a little surprised they wouldn't have box and papers. I mean, it's a relatively new watch. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I would keep all of that, but I guess not everyone's like that, right? Someone that just
Yeah, this is actually kind of a watch, even though it's designed to be a watch for enthusiasts. I could see people getting it because they think it's cool and different.
Yes.
And they aren't necessarily enthusiasts, so they throw everything away.
I don't know if you've seen on the Luxy show with Archie, we look at some random weird shit sometimes, right? And I brought up a guy on YouTube. He owns a few properties in Miami, and his properties are like $6 million US, $10 million US.
Oh,
3
he's a high roller.
Yeah, and he rents them out on Airbnb, right?
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and the shit that people leave behind, you'd be shocked. Like they leave Ray-Ban sunglasses, Gucci shoes.
Wow,
like, just leave it.
I don't know how much it is per night in a place like that, but it's obviously not a Motel 6. So it's all relative, in other words. So they're leaving behind a pair of Ray-Bans and they're like, oh, those are just cheapy glasses. I need to throw those away anyway.
I'm going to try and find it for you.
Because Ray-Bans aren't really high end, like, you know, for the masses, people think of them as kind of high end, but they're not really.
Okay, here we go. I found it. Here we go. This is one of his random videos. He's got a whole channel dedicated to it. So he says, this is what celebrities leave in my $10 million Miami Airbnb. Okay. So
this is what celebrities leave in my $10 million.
Oh shit, it's going so fast. There was a car key, a bunch of flowers that looked pristine.
Miami Airbnb.
We got bottles of wine.
There you go.
Why the fuck would you leave your car key?
The car
That's
outside.
Somebody forgot it. I'm sure they didn't intend to leave their car key.
We'll pick it up later. But when I went to look at it, it was being towed away because they parked in front of the car.
Oh shit, it's been towed away.
Construction site across the street. Also some flowers, this jeans jacket, and multiple bottles of good wine. Camus bottles are like $80 each, and the Casamigos behind about $50. The bedrooms were pretty clean. They even stripped the linens off, so I'm assuming they had a maid. Then I found a pen on the nightstand, some mouthwash. But other than that, nothing personal. In the freezer, there was some frozen tilapia, lots of sodas in the wine cooler, and inside of the fridge, juices and milk.
This one's not too bad, but some of them, yeah, like brand new empty boxes of Nike shoes, Apes is saying it's fake. It's not fake. It's not fake. He's got hundreds of videos, and I don't think you could fake it. The shit that he.
Oh, he thinks that the guy doesn't really own all these places, or
No,
he
I
thinks
don't
he'd
know.
make what
I
was
think
left
he
behind.
means. Yeah, I think he means like the stuff left behind is like he just make. I think what he's saying is that the video is just fake, but I don't think it is. You'd have to. Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think
Well,
it's fake.
you know what? Apes has got a point. If I had that sort of expensive Airbnb, you better let people know it exists, because there aren't too many people looking for that kind of a high-end place. So it's a nice way to advertise, to say these are the things that have been left behind.
Yes. Yeah, true.
But then again, I'm a conspiracy theorist, just like Apes.
Hey, I'm a conspiracy theorist as well.
Yeah, I sometimes forget that. That's right.
Yeah. Have you? We got a very kind super chat from Craig Lewis, $10. Thank you, Craig, for the support. He says, proud owner of a 124060. I believe my money is okay. What watch do you believe is a candidate for Rolex to discontinue? Let's bring up his watch.
People always talk about such and such is going to be discontinued, and then the prices are going to go crazy. If I had to say what's going to be discontinued in Rolex, did you want to go first though, Lexi?
No, carry on. Yeah. Because I'm not.
I would
a big
agree. Like Dog Trainer goes on and on and on about the celebration dial, and I just don't get it. So I could see that one being discontinued, because I can't be the only one that doesn't get it. So I think things like that are going to be discontinued. But in terms of discontinuing the Pepsi or kind of iconic watches like that, I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I've openly said many times I'm not a big Rolex person. I don't really look too much at Rolex. So unfortunately, I wouldn't even be able to have a guess.
Well, but you could probably still take a stab at it.
You know what I used to like? I used to like Milgauss. Did you ever like the Milgauss? Yeah, I love Milgauss.
I could see the Milgauss being technically discontinued. I could see them saying we've done this enough, and then coming out with something that's a little more historic as a Milgauss. Because
the Milgauss was pretty edgy at the time, right?
Right.
Even now, it's kind of an edgy watch, and for Rolex.
Well, like I'm lucky enough. I have a 1019 Milgauss, and it's nothing like this, or it's very little like this. You know, it doesn't have the lightning bolt sweep hand and the gimmicks on it. It just doesn't have those gimmicks. And I could see them going back to something like that.
What about the green sapphire?
Nope, doesn't have that. I could see them. I could see them coming up with a revised version of the Milgauss. Technically, that's not discontinued, but if it's revised enough, then it could change the prices on the older ones.
Yeah.
Hard to say. But in terms of completely discontinuing, I think of things like the celebration dial and things like that.
Is there anyone in the chat that has a Milgauss?
Modern Milgauss, I assume you mean.
Yes. I'm just looking at the chat. Let's have a look.
It's you know, Milgauss is a cool choice.
An Acquired Taste says left-hand drive Starbucks.
Yeah, that one might be discontinued. I agree. Of course, they've been saying that for a while.
We got another very kind super chat from Patek Philippe. Thank you. $5 Canadian. the best AP to wear when having Devon or Cornish green tea, and what's the damn difference? I think if you're a purist, there has to be Cornish. It can't be Devon. It's got to be Cornish. For those that don't know, so if you're not from England or you're not too familiar with the south west coast of England, Cornwall is like a state or county, and you got Devon, which is right next to each other. Cornwall, I believe, invented clotted cream, but hey, I could be fucking wrong. It might have been Devon, but I believe it was Cornwall. I really believe it's Cornwall. I love APs. I don't see enough people talking about AP. Half on Smash has got his music dial. I really like that. Let's have a look. AP.
Of course, that's a significantly special edition.
Yes.
So not exactly for the commoners and the masses.
But would you wear an AP while having Cornish cream tea? I don't think you would. I think you'd have to have something classy.
I think an
Cornish...
AP, I'd say, why not? You know, you get yourself.
I would say.
You're saying it's not enough of a dress watch. It sounds like you're saying.
Yeah, because it's very edgy, right? APs are more edgy, not so. I would see.
I think if you just go with a classic, if you go with a classic and a simple three-hander, I think you could. It comes off very dressy, I think.
I actually think this is quite nice. The Code 1159. They've changed the iterations quite a lot, haven't they, since the original Code 1159?
It's a little busy for me, and I like chronographs, but so I generally like a certain amount of busy, but for me that's a little too busy. And if I could get it without the date there, that would be an improvement for me as well.
Let's have a look.
I think it's just too much. It's too much. There's too much going on with the dial.
Do you like the Code 1159?
Well, first of all, for me, I'm not an AP guy.
Okay.
But like I said, if I could get something that's a little less busy. Now, certain colors, and you're right to bring up different colors. But certain colors do it more for me than others. So, you know, I could see going for that if the price were right. Of course, we know the price isn't right.
Yeah, that's the problem. I wonder what they're like on the secondary. We'll have a look in a minute. Oh, I haven't seen this one before. Look at this dial. You got gemstones on the dial.
So you're not a Royal Oak fan, though, at all, are you?
Offshore. I like the offshore. The Royal Oak, not too much. But
see, for me, the offshore is a little too busy, and I gravitate to the Royal Oak, which is a little less busy.
Wait.
What? Wait.
Can I address the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
One of them.
Is that me?
Hello, Lux. Hello, Lux. How are you? I saw comedy in the title. I go, you guys are making me laugh. I thought I'd jump on.
Up. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
This is the comedy section. I'm giggling. My dog is giggling. My dog is giggling too. They go, knock, the comedy pillow's on.
I just woke up, Nog.
No, you must be more awful. When you wake up, you're hilarious. I got a fucking text. I got a message from Jock. I think he goes, "Listen here, Angelic. I don't want you going on the stream again." He messaged the wrong person.
Oh
he
shit!
thought I was Angelic. I'm serious. I'm not even joking.
wait. Tell me again. He
Right?
was messaging Angelic
He
saying,
messaged.
"Don't."
He thought I was Angelic. He goes, "I don't want you to go on Archie stream, Lux's stream."
Oh shit!
All right, Angelic. I
Did you see?
screenshotted the shop. No, I screenshotted the shop. Was in Discord. You can delete it. So I knew he was drunk and probably made a mistake. 10 seconds later, the comments deleted. Can you believe this? Can you believe what's going on, Doc?
That is one way to tell you something while denying that he told you.
Do you believe what's going on? Say it ain't so.
Oh, you mean
Mental
with
junk-
this new first Amiga in space? I know, I can't believe it either. It's amazing.
We go back to pillar one. I'll jump off. I'll let you two continue.
Oh, don't leave, Nog.
Where's Tommy?
Tommy hates my guts. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
we got
What?
someone
What?
joining. Are you ready?
What? Look
Have
at-
a guess who's joining, Nark.
It's Nark's favorite character on the show.
Yes.
Heinrich!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Second
boys and
favorite
girls,
character on the show.
Eddie. We got
Hello,
Eddie.
Eddie. Come here. Give me a hug.
What's up, man? I love you, man.
Undo your seatbelt. Undo your seatbelt.
Hey, I love you, man.
Let me get to say it
No.
too. Hey, man, what's happening,
Hey,
man?
man. Oh, shit. You better not be drinking in that car, Eddie.
Give me a hug. No, take your glasses off. I want to make eye contact. Let's not break eye. Give me a hug.
Where's
Give me a hug.
Archie, man?
Give me a hug.
He's busy. He's busy.
Hey, Eddie, give me a hug.
I love you, man.
Give me a hug.
Give me a hug, man.
Red suture.
What are you doing, man?
You know, I think that's a violation to kiss him without permission. I know he gave permission for a hug, but I'm thinking when
man,
you
you
kissed
can
him
kiss
like
me,
that.
man. You can kiss me only on my cheek, man. You can't kiss me in the lips, though, man. That's what.
Why not? Look, no. I love kissing Eddie. It's not so much hit. Look, that's
What
the
happened,
intimate part of
man?
it.
What's going on with you, man? Hey,
Eddie,
guess
what about
happened,
tongue? Is tongue okay, Eddie, or no tongue?
Nah, man, that's not okay. That's not cool,
Right?
man.
No. I got to seriously, Lux. You made some serious accusations yesterday. Have you got anything to back them up? Was mental
What
junk?
happened? What happened?
It's a long story. I don't think it's for the main
No.
show. I think it's for the.
All right, sure. Jump off.
Okay. Sorry. Nark. Yes, it's perfect for the main show, Nark.
No, what does the chat want? Does the chat want drama or a bit of watch talk?
Yeah. What
Hey, my watch is broken, man. That watch that Russia gave me. I'm waiting for this part to come. I'm gonna fix it myself. It needs a little lever, man.
No, that watch is a beautiful watch. He's so generous to give you the original Daytona.
He's a nice guy, man. He's my best friend, man. He's locked up right now. He can't come out, man. He's done.
Why that's no good. That's no
Huh?
good. That's no good.
know.
You gotta get your watch. Why'd you send it to Rolex?
No, man. You can't, man. It's too expensive, man, to do that.
Yeah, that's
It's not a real Rolex.
I can't believe you gave you an original, authentic Rolex. This guy must be rolling it, or he loves you.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's my friend, man. We were
Yeah.
locked up together, man. I used to be cool with him, man. We used to eat together, man, with this guy named Sharky. This guy named Sharky used to take me to where Russia was at. He's like in this one building, and we were not supposed to go there, but we went in there, like, cause
Did you say-
like different. We went into the other unit. You're not supposed to go there, but we went there anyway. And they used to go in the rooms and shit. He's like, man, watch out for me, cause we're gonna
What about
get your
Curly?
phone."
Did you see Curly in there?
Huh? No, man. Hey, look, they were like they're trying to use the cell phones, like illegal cell phones in there. And they
Yeah, how do you
brought me
get those
in there.
phones in there? How do you get those phones in there? Do you stick the girls stick it up their asses? The pussies? How do
Nah,
they get it?
man, they throw bags over the fence at night, and then some guy, they call them crash dummies. They pay them off, whatever. They gotta go
Crash
and run
dummies?
with like a. Yeah, they call them crash dummies, crash test dummies. So they got like they throw something over their face so the camera can't see who it is, and they run and grab the bag, and they try to run right in the building real quick, and then the cops, they're gonna start running after them, and they're gonna go in the building, lock the building down, start searching for that shit. They gotta hide the bag real quick. Then once they hide the bag, then they didn't get busted. Then they open it up and then they sell whatever.
Did you have a phone? Did you have a phone, Eddie?
No, I didn't have a phone, but I was the IT guy for all the phones, and because they used to download movies using torrents, and they didn't know how to do that shit. I showed them how to do all that.
No, which one did you use? Pirate Bay? Which one was your favorite torrent site?
LimeWire?
There's different ones. There's different ones. No, there's like they don't have it no more. Rare Bag or something like that. They don't have that no more.
What was the number one? What was the number one torrent download back in the day?
That's not a nice thing to call her, though. Really. Torrents.eu. Remember Torrents?
Yeah,
they got hacked.
Yeah, but what was the favorite torrent? Oh, the prisoners. What was the favorite download? Was it porn? Was it movies? Was it classics? Was it classics?
They were downloading music videos, and they would also download like movies, like from like the
rom-coms. Any rom-coms? Romantic comedies?
No, just all kinds of movies like that. That like new movies that come out in the movie theater and shit like that. Then they used to put it on the memory stick, and at night when the cops weren't in the building, they used to put it in the TV because the TVs used to have like little USB. In the TV rooms, they had like little USB connectors. They used to be.
Oh, you had movie nights. You had movie nights.
Nah, man, but these were like illegal. But they used to plug it in, and everybody would go in there and listen and watch the movie and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So you were the IT guy. So there was problems that would ring you up.
Yeah, they would be like, "Hey, how do you do this?" And this. And they
did you put them on hold? Did you put them on hold when they rang you up? Did you put them on hold?
No, they didn't rang me up. They just come get me and stuff. But listen, you know what happened to me? I got in big trouble because I had the printer in the prison. They used to sell these copy cards on commissary, and each copy card give you 60 copies, and you have to pay $6 for that, right? So like this guy named Carolina, he used to do like.
Is he from Carolina? Is he from Carolina?
Yeah, he's probably from Carolina. That was his
Which
name.
part of Carolina?
His nickname was Carolina.
No.
Yeah,
You know what my nickname was in prison?
What?
You know what my nickname was in prison?
What?
Mr. England, because I had a shirt that says England on it.
I didn't know about that. Listen, man, I'll tell you what happened. So the
we're
printer.
Super chat, Eddie. Can you read the
super chat?
Can you read the super chat, Eddie? Can you read it, please?
Yeah, Narg, who
No. Read the name first. Read the
Start at top.
Eddie,
GB.
Eddie, if you want fucking keys here and run your own show, you got to read the super chat properly. GB.
GB MX $20. Narg, who needs Ozempic more, Eddie, AC3, or Lux?
What's he trying to say here? What's JB trying to say here?
What is Ozempic?
No. It's a camera angle with you, Eddie. It's a camera angle. It's lens distortion.
This jacket is kind of small, man, and I'm a little bit fat too. I need.
No, you're not. All right, bloated. You're bloated.
Oh,
you must have had onions.
Look at that crocodile.
Hey, listen, I want to tell you something. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you what happened in the prison.
Wait, is that a crocodile belt? Is that a crocodile belt?
It's like Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, that's a crocodile belt.
He's got crocodile shoes as well. Show us your crocodile.
Show us your shoes. Show us your shoes.
Show us the
No,
crocodile
my shoes right now. I don't got those shoes right now. I'm wearing different shoes right now. I'm wearing.
Are they crocodile?
Cheap,
oh no.
Nah, like these cheap shoes.
No, you're very stylish, Eddie. You're very stylish. Those shoes are in now. I'm telling you now.
They really? I didn't even. My mom got me those a while ago. Those are old shoes, man. I had them for a while. Hey, listen.
So
Eddie,
to answer
I'm telling you now.
the super chat, we need to answer the super chat. Who needs Ozempic more, Eddie, AC3, or Lux?
Lux.
Hey, Ozempic is bad. It causes all kinds of cancers and shit. You don't know what
it causes. Anal leakage.
Oh.
I don't know that it's been established causing cancer yet.
Actually, there's a lot of it causes a lot of gastro problems. Yeah, I know one woman who's into a lot of anal action. She goes, "Look, I'm thinking of going off Ozempic, but I can't do any anal stuff. It's called anal leakage. Too many accidents. Too much information." I said.
Thyroid cancer.
Can I tell you what? Can I tell you what happened in prison with the printer?
Yes. Before you do, we got a super chat. We got Pavel, $2 idea. We got an idea from Pavel. Eddie to curls. Geriatric. What the fuck?
Exercising glasses.
Exercising glasses. What the fuck are they?
Did you see any guy with a mobility scooter in the prison? Wait, let me ask you. Are there any guys with a mobility scooter in the prison?
What?
Did you see any prison inmates with a mobility scooter? Yes or no?
No. They had wheelchairs and shit. There's motherfuckers with wheelchairs in prison.
The guy have curly hair and a gap teeth?
Nah.
I'm glad you agree. Now, look.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Wait, let me tell you something. You know what happened with the printer? So I got into the printer and I found out they didn't have no admin password. It was just admin. And then I changed it to something weird so they couldn't get in. And then I went in. You can go in, like I showed Carolina. You go in and you go to external into like preferences.
What you call? What they call you? What's your nickname, Eddie?
Russia, another Russia, Russia number 2.
Wait. Man. You can't have 2 Russias.
Yeah, Russia over there, and I'm Russia over here, man.
What about Dagestan? What don't they call you Dagestan?
Hey, there was this one guy who was speaking Russian. He called me. He said he called him machina, because that means car in Russian, machine.
Now, let me ask you something. You probably had a lover in there, right? But it's not gay if it's in prison, right? Was that accepted in there?
Yeah, everybody was cool, man.
Yeah, so
I got in a fight one time. This guy punched me because he was stupid.
Did you punch him back?
Nah, man, we got into it. He was a big guy, man. I didn't want to fight with him and shit. But he punched me, and then I was sick, man. I had COVID. And then
why did he punch you?
Because he got caught with his cell phone, and he tried to say it was my fault. I'm like, dude, I told you don't buy. I said don't buy the phone. You have no hiding spot or nothing. And then I was supposed to, like, I did security for him.
Where do you hide it? Where do you hide it in the prison cell? Where do you hide it?
There's like, okay, these guys they make holes in the wall and shit like that, and then they like small like they cut into the mattress. They hide them inside the mattress. Sometimes they make like little cuts in the back of they make custom like closet type things where in their locker they would like little fucking compartments, hidden compartments that open with magnets and shit like that. Weird shit.
Eddie, was you at the top bunk or the bottom bunk?
It depends. I had a top. I picked because I like to sleep on the top bunk, man.
You're a top, so you're a top. So you're a top.
They don't ever treat it like a drug stash and stick it up their ass?
I don't know, man, about all that, man. No, they don't do that shit in there. Man.
Eddie, I can't picture you going up on the top. Come on.
Listen,
what did I say? It's too heavy for the top bunk.
No,
listen, I'm just
picturing. Wait. I'm just picturing you trying to get onto the top bunk. It's not easy. There's no step ladders.
No, man, you just gotta jump up and jump on a sill and jump on top. Like
Eddie, one second. Eddie, let me visualize that. No, I can't do it. No, I can't do it.
Listen, man, I had to jump. When I was in the shoe, I had to jump like to get on the top bunk. You gotta step on the toilet, get on the top of the sink, and then jump up to the top of the bunk. Man, it's fucked up.
What do you say, Doc?
Huh?
Doc, what do you say? Doc, what do you say about this? I reckon it's the top. I reckon it's the bottom.
Hey, one time I fell and I busted.
Wait. Let Doc.
We got super chance. We got super chance.
If he has to use the toilet to get onto the bunk, it's especially dangerous getting off the bunk.
It is dangerous, man, because I fell and I hit my ribs, man. I was cracking my fucking ribs. On the edge of it's all metal, man. That shit ain't fucking cool, man. I was like, boom! Oh, man. When you do that once or twice, you get bruises and shit all over your fucking legs, man. You learn not to get.
Is that how you wake up? I fell off the bed each morning? Doc, what do you have to say?
No, man. Hey, it's pretty tall. If you fall, you hit the concrete, boom, you fucking die, man.
Fuck.
Interesting though. You're all beaten up black and blue, and somebody
hey, man,
somebody had their way with you. Somebody has their way with you, and you say, "Oh, I fell on the toilet."
Yeah, I just fell on the floor off the top of the bunk.
I fell on.
Man, listen what happened. Hey, this guy, I got in a fight. He hit me, man, because. Listen, I did security watch. He's a piece of shit, man. I watched the hallway.
Wait. You're the security? You're security?
I was doing security for a couple of motherfuckers. Like, my cellie was cool. Like, the guy that is my cellmate.
Did you charge for this? Did you charge for this? Did you charge for this?
Yeah, he used to give me a phone to use the phone.
Eddie, I'm sorry, knock. When he says he was security, what he actually means is he was the bitch boy that had to go to the front door to look out for the guards in case they were coming up and down there.
People do that because they get like fucking. Because the guy said, "Look, you do 30-minute security. I'll let you use the phone for 30 minutes."
Who did you ring up? Did you ring up your mother?
Yeah, man. I called my mom. I called Maxine, this one bitch I used to know. China, this one girl I used to know.
We got super chats. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. We got super chats. We got Patek Philippe, $5 Canadian. Lux, can you make a custom bespoke strap from Archie's for Archie's wool time made from an alligator's arsehole leather? Yeah,
you can.
I can do that. Yeah. How do you know, Eddie? Have you tried?
I just want to know where
I got some alligator strap.
All right. Archie,
my understanding is you have a hard time getting rid of the smell on those alligator ass.
I don't think you know if the alligator's ass is like fucking. You couldn't even. They probably sew it together, man. So
No. It's there. It's there. Trust me, I've seen it. It's there.
People want to know where Archie is.
They don't make straps from that. They make straps from the tail.
Archie's.
Hey, I got an alligator. Hey, look, you want to see an alligator? I got alligator wallet or a crocodile. Look.
You got alligator.
No. Is it crocodile, alligator? Which one is it?
I think it's a crocodile because see this where the tail. You see the little spike.
No. That doesn't mean it's a. That's just the back of. That's just the back rather than the belly. That's the horn
embossed.
back.
That's embossed. That's fake.
That's not embossed, man.
That's embossed. That's
embossed.
It's embossed.
How do you emboss that, man?
Easy.
You can emboss that. You can. I've seen it.
Okay, look, is this embossed? Tell me.
Have you got a lighter? Have you got a lighter? Can you burn it? And if it melts, it's embossed. Have you got a
open
lighter?
up and it says on the inside.
I have another one that's better than this one, but I keep this one because I don't want to fuck that one.
Look.
If it says genuine leather inside, that'll tell you it's embossed.
It's got a picture of an alligator.
No, you're lucky you got a real Daytona. This one's fake. You can't have it all.
We got a super chat.
Okay, all right,
Patel,
man. It's embossed, man.
All right, we got Patel. Oh, it is embossed. Okay, thank you for telling us. Patel Philippe, $5 Canadian. Russia, #2 interview this
Babushka.
Babushka, #2 interview this Babushka, who's been talking trash to you for 10 minutes. Ask him anything. I don't understand.
What babushka, man? What are you talking about?
There was a song called Babushka by Kate. Was it Kate Bush?
Babushka means granny, man. Granny.
That might be Russia. That might be Russia also, but
Russia.
That's a Russia.
#2 interview. #2. Okay, interview this Babushka who's been.
I think he's talking about Angelic.
Hey, listen, man. Let me tell you something, man. Hey, man, dude. They mentally fucked my brain up in prison, man. Like they put me in fucking, they locked me up in this fucking like suicide thing. I was because the shooter, this guy, they only had 3 cells in there, and I couldn't fit. Like, man, he was on a hunger strike, and they took me out of the cell. They couldn't put me in the other.
Did you go on a hunger strike? Did you go on a hunger strike?
I didn't go on a hunger strike, man. I didn't.
I think that would have been. I think that would be beneficial. You protest and lose a bit of weight. Get healthy. Lower your cholesterol and blood pressure. Lower your cholesterol and blood pressure. You might be pre-diabetic. That would have solved that too. Sometimes
man, listen what happened. Hey, they said no, man. They put me in the nut house and like where they put the crazy motherfucker. They put me in the infirmary and they locked me in a cell where they had like a slab and they had like 2 cameras and like a toilet where you can't flush the toilet. Somebody has to come and flush it for you. The guy said I'll come by every 30 minutes and see, and I'll flush it for you, man.
What do you mean they couldn't flush it?
There's a button. It flushes outside the cell. So like it's called dry cell. They put me in a dry cell, man.
The dry cell.
Yeah, man. Fuck that shit.
No, Eddie, come here. Give me another hug. I feel like crying. Come here. Give me another hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. No. Give me a hug. Hug. Come on. All right.
Eddie got another super chat, man. He got another super chat.
Yeah, we got Eddie. This super chat has got your name on it, Eddie.
Another
$5 Canadian. It says, Eddie, why are you cozying up to the Russia's girl, man? Since you've been out the shoe, man. He knows you swapped his Daytona for a fake, man.
What do you have to say to that, man?
I don't know, man. That's funny, man. Hey, in the dry, I'm like, man, how am I supposed to? When I told the guy, the police guard, he's like, I'm like, how am I supposed to wipe my ass in here, man? He's like, here, man. He's like, I need some water bottles and shit.
How did you wipe your ass in there?
I used to wash my ass in there, man, with water.
Wait. What, with your hand? Yeah,
with my hand, motherfucker.
Did you take a sniff afterwards, Archie style?
Nah, man, I washed it with soap and hot water, and then they gave me like a bunch of water bottles and shit. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why am I in trouble, man? I'm not even supposed to be in here, man.
Nah, fuck. I don't. You've been through a lot. I don't know how you can't settle down, find a good job, or find a good woman. I have no idea why.
I got a job interview. I got a job interview tomorrow morning, man.
Oh, congratulations!
I'm trying to get it. I don't got a job yet. Congratulations for nothing. It's just an interview.
No, for the interview.
Can I give you some advice, Eddie? Maybe cut down man from say about.
I don't talk like that when I'm on it. When I talk.
How do you give us your?
Let's do a job interview.
If you've ever talked to Eddie off the air, he sounds completely different when he's out of.
All right, Doc. Can you interview for a job? Wait, Eddie.
Eddie, let's do a live interview.
Doc's going to interview for a job. We're going to do a
role play
interview here. Role play. So he's going to interview for a job. So let's hear your interviewee voice. Doc, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Okay.
So I'm playing Eddie out of character.
No, you're the job interviewer.
No, you're the
No, I don't want to be the interviewer. I want to be the interviewee. I want to be Eddie out of character.
All right. Lux, you could be the interviewer.
No, but see, the thing is I'm very my profession. I'm very specialized in certain things. Well, you wouldn't know what I specialize in. I'm a computer IT specialist. I do like system administration. Like I like let's say a new user starts working, we gotta create a profile for them and create a username and password for them in Active Directory. And then let's say they have a new computer, I gotta join that computer to the domain. I gotta re-image it. I gotta install the software on it. Stuff like
Eddie,
that.
Is it okay, Eddie, if I do my impression of the way you sound in real life?
Sure,
when you're not...
Sure.
Okay, good.
So Doc,
I'm
tell
Eddie.
me, Doc.
I'm Eddie.
Oh, sorry, Eddie. Hey, Eddie. So tell me, what skills do you have that you can bring to this company?
Well, sir, I think it's whatever you'd like me to bring is what I'm going to bring to you.
And I've looked at your past, and you seem to have a very colorful past. How can we trust? Huh?
They don't have access to the federal.
Oh shit! Okay, they don't know it. Okay.
Unless you do a fingerprint background check, they can still look it up. They can still find out. But that's what happened to me on my last job. I was working, and then like after a couple months, they found out. Then they're like, "Man, we gotta let you go, man. Corporate doesn't want that shit." I'm like, "Man, what?"
But you're a hacker. No, Eddie, I didn't get it. You're a hacker. You could have deleted that crap. You could have deleted that crap. You could delete that.
No, man, I can't do no more shit, man. Hey, I'm off probation. I can't. I'm not no longer. They used to come to my job, and this bitch used to drive up, and she's like, "I gotta meet you at work." I'm like, "Where are you gonna meet me at?" They gotta meet you in the parking lot. I said, "All right, where?" So I parked where there's no cameras and shit. And then she fucking drove up, and then she's like, "I'm like, man, you got a license?" I'm like, "Man, why can't we just meet up at a gas station or something?" I didn't want her to see this car, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want her to see this car. So then I like parked away from where she met, and she's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Man," and she's like, "They're gonna find out." She's like, "How are they gonna know who I am or what I'm here?" I'm like,
"Wait. But isn't that your mother's car? Isn't that your mother's car?"
No, this is my car, but it's in my mom's name.
Wait. You've got a Mercedes. How the hell do you afford a Mercedes?
He's passed
I got more than one Mercedes. I got more than one Mercedes, man. I got another Mercedes too, man. I don't drive it.
No. Between you and me, did you put away money? Have you put away money?
No, man. I paid for it when I was working. I saved up and I bought it, man. I gave it to my mom. Put it on her name so that
And that's good. Don't say anything on the air. Don't let him trick you.
They're gonna try to set me up, man. They're gonna try to.
Is this top of the line? This sounds like a top. This looks like a top of the line Mercedes.
It is, man. It is, man. What do you think this is, man?
You got a fold-out bed in there? You got a fold-out bed in there?
Am I what?
A fold-out bed.
No, I can fold the back seats, but I don't do that.
Wait, are you washing the car? You're in the wash. You're in the car wash.
Yeah, I just wash the car. It's clean. I gotta make sure it's clean.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever banged anyone in that car?
One time, but I don't. I usually don't, man, because I take. If I'm going out with a girl, I take her to a hotel.
No, car sex is overrated. Look.
One time I did, but I had to put the back seats and in the back and all the way, in the back.
No. Once I had sex in the car, and my car was manual. I had a gearbox up my ass. I admit it.
Why'd you
We
have
used that line last night. No.
Yeah, yes, I know. I recycle. All right.
Reusing the line.
All right. Different audience.
Nah, man, I don't do that in the car.
Are
man,
you
I don't
testing
wanna
the
fuck-
audience right now?
Hey, look, I'm not taking no more people in this car, man, because every time, you bring somebody in the car, they fuck up the car, man. You know what I'm
How'd they
saying?
fuck it up?
They
How'd
bring
they
a
fuck it
little
up?
bit of their body odor, a little bit of body
They
odor.
scratch
The
it, man.
juices, the
They
juices.
you know why they fuck it up? Because they didn't pay for it. They don't know the value of things, man.
What, did they eat chips?
treat-
Did they eat Cheetos? What they eat Cheetos? What? How'd they fuck it up?
No, these bitches are crazy. They don't, they got rings on and shit. They open the door like it's a
What do you mean? What, rings on their
That
pussy?
sounds like it could be a song, bitches be crazy.
No, like rings on their fingers, man. They
Oh, I
open
thought you
the
said rings
door
on their
and
pussy, so when they're sitting down, they're scratching the fucking leather.
Yeah, they scratch the leather, man. They scratch everything, man. They fucking don't care. Women don't give a shit, man.
Eddie. Every car tells a story, okay? Show us a scratch or some mark in that car that gives a story of one of these past bitches.
Okay. Actually, I don't know if I have any damage. Like, let me see. Hang on.
Wait,
Yeah,
it's
clit rings, Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy.
He hasn't got any damage.
Yeah,
Just
Jim,
show us-
clit rings. Clit rings.
Show us the missing armrest. The missing
Yeah.
armrest is probably a good story.
Oh, there's like a ripped seat, man. You want to see a
Right,
ripped
show
seat?
us, and give us the story of this ripped seat.
This seat came like that with this car, man. It was already like that.
Eddie, work with us, Eddie. We need a story, Eddie.
That's
I
why
don't know, man. Oh, wait, look, there's a crack. There's a crack right here, man.
when I bring women into the car, I make sure they take all their screwdrivers.
Look, I'll
out
show
of
you the crack. Look,
Wait. You bring women in the car?
the veneer crack.
Tommy
man.
said you're a misogynist. Tommy, 1 sec, Eddie. Tommy said not only a conspiracy theories, you're a misogynist. What was the last time you had a woman in your car?
One man's
Doc?
misogynist is another man's normal.
What was the last time you had a woman in the car?
Look, you see there's a crack right here, man? Can you see it?
That
One
you
second,
stayed
Eddie.
in the car, or did I had to
We
toss
see it,
out?
Eddie. We see it.
You tossed out.
Hey, look, man. It's just the veneer, the fucking what do you call that?
Yeah,
shit
we
that
see it. We see it.
There
They
was
put,
happy
like,
hour a couple of weeks ago. I had to toss.
What do you call this thing, man? What do you call the laminating or not laminate? What do you call that? Like polyurethane
It's
they
fake.
put on top, right? This shit cracked, and then Mercedes don't want to replace it. They say you got to buy another. You got to buy the whole set. These are expensive, man. They're wood.
Wait, can you bring up Skyzen's comment? Is he gonna go at me? Was you
Snark masturbating doesn't count for banging a chick in a car, a bitch in a car.
What's he trying to say here? What's he trying to say here?
That is funny. You're going to use that on someone else, aren't you, Narc?
Oh, Skyzen, that's not bad. That's not bad.
There's scratches underneath right here. There's like scratches and shit. You
Oh, look at
can't
the
see 'em on-
Undertaker in the car.
How
Look
come
at the
you're
Undertaker
ashamed?
in the car.
This is a fine show. We can put that up. You know,
Yeah, that's good. I like that, Skyzen. That's not bad.
yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm not curly. I'm not gonna ban you. I like that. No banning here. They're the banners.
Hey, look at that. That's that guy that used to like those beers. I don't like this beer.
We got T-Dubs in the house. Welcome, T-Dubs.
Uh-oh. The combs.
Hello.
We got everything today. We got the shoe. We got Pelican Bay. We got the shoe program. We've got Carolina Sweets. Eddie's can name, and we've got clip rings. We've got car sex. It's all happening. And I've got comms from Jock. I've got special report from Jock. I've got a special report from Jock.
Okay.
And I've been told not to release it yet. I've been told
Release
not
it.
to release
Come on,
it.
release it. You can't tease us.
No,
Release
I can't at the moment because it's still in preparation. The Jock is
come on.
Jock's off ramp is
Hey,
the main
listen, hey, I want to tell you
60
something, man. Hey, look.
No, Eddie, 1 second, Eddie. Sorry, carry on, T.
You got what's it? You got a super chat. You got a compliment from here from Pavel. Can you read it? Read it properly.
Eddie, did they have? Read
What's
it,
it?
Eddie.
Got a super
Read the
chat.
super chat.
Pavel, $9.99. Eddie is actually the perfect buyer for these hard depreciated, mass-produced mid-range Mercedes. He knows about CAN bus, man. Yeah, I know about CAN bus.
He's giving you a
Car
compliment
Area
here.
Network.
No. You got to thank him for the compliment.
He's complimenting you. Yeah.
He's complimenting you here.
Hey,
Thank
CAN
him.
bus is the network.
Can you
that
thank? Hey,
controls-
wait. Can you thank Pavel first?
Pavel.
Thank him. Not only did he super chat $10, he's complimenting you.
Thank you, Pavel. Thank you. Spasiba. Spasiba, Pavel.
Привет, Dorin.
Привет. Hey, listen.
Привет.
These cars are different than other cars. They have everything is controlled through computers. They have SAM
Eddie.
acquisition modules, signal acquisition
Eddie.
modules. What?
Can I ask you something?
What?
Did they fly kites in where you were? They fly kites?
Kites?
Yeah, kites. The kites.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kites. That's how you get the
Okay.
comms around. You get the comms with the kites. You get comms with the kites.
Yeah, you can.
You fly kite.
That's where they use to hook up a line to a kite and throw it up. Yeah. And that's got an antenna on it, and you can fucking get a signal with that.
No. I'm gonna jump off. Not those. The kites under the door. They skim them across the floor. The kite. They call them kites.
Hey, look, Russia sent me one of these, man. Look at this.
What's he said? Yeah.
T-Mobile.
It's a network. It's a router. I got internet connection with this.
Mobile internet. Yeah.
There's like 20 gigabytes every month for free on here. That's what Russia told me.
Yeah, be careful. That T-Mobile. Be careful of them, Eddie.
Why?
Careful of the T-Mobile comms.
Why? What's wrong with T-Mobile?
Well, didn't they hack the code? Didn't they hack the code of T-Mobile?
Are you saying there's surveillance?
I don't know. I don't care about it, man.
Yeah, it could be a bit of surveillance, Doc. Could be a bit of a surveillance.
Hey, the fucking government might be watching me, man. Because hey, they hacked.
Yes,
hey, you know what they did? You know what they did when
they're watching everybody, mate.
You know what they did to me before? I used to drive a Jaguar, and they put a fucking tracking device underneath my Jaguar. And when I went to I went to the auto mechanic to do some shit. I went underneath, and they lifted up the car, and I seen it. It's like a little fucking bar with a battery, and there was like a little box. There's a magnet. It hit underneath. I took that shit off and I threw it somewhere.
Yeah, they got all sorts of tricks. They got all sorts of tools.
I think they recently were advertising Ford. I think it was Ford was going to have tracking in their vehicles. I think they all have tracking. It's just they're not supposed to say it out loud.
Every vehicle has it. Any car that has a computer that it stores everything you do, like when you drive, your GPS coordinates, everything. Let's say you do something stupid, they can go to your car, hook up a computer, download the data from your fucking GPS, and see everything.
You got the colours on today, Eddie. You're wearing the colours. You got the gang colours on. What's the OMP? And the crown? What's that?
What's
on the
that?
on the jacket. The jacket. What's that?
That's a company. This company makes racing suits that fucking they have like fire retardant racing clothing for racing.
Okay.
You gotta zip it up though for it to work as far.
Yeah, you gotta zip it up.
No, this one doesn't have it. It's just a
Mike the Snake would be jealous of that. Mikey would be jealous of that. Ferrari, yeah, Mikey, he'd be jealous of that.
Man. I got this from a friend as a gift, man. It's a gift.
Fucking nice, mate.
Do me a favor, Eddie. Never buy an electric car. If you don't want to be tracked, don't buy.
I don't like electric car. I don't like electric. I mean, electric car is cool, but right now it's not cool because it's like it's a hassle, man. If you have your own house,
the latest Elon Musk said he said if Trump's not elected, he's going to switch all the Teslas off. He's going to switch them off for a week.
Did he say that? What?
Yeah.
Oh, just
he's going to turn them off from. Yeah, he's going to turn them all off from the main Tesla.
Yeah, but he couldn't do that.
How long
yeah, he can. He can, Lux. He can.
I'm willing to bet he can.
No, he can. They did it to that one guy. Remember that guy that was like some kind of like this guy from Georgia or something in Russia. He was like one of those like military motherfuckers. He was
I heard about that. Yeah.
And he shot one of them off, man. Hey, look.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? You know what's a good car right now? Do you seen the new Acura Integra? Fuck, that car is.
Because really Trump said that the FBI is not helping him with the assassination attempts. He said they can hack those apps and find out who those guys getting their orders from, their calls, track their calls and their data and everything.
Man. Listen, man.
They're not helping him.
Tell you something great. Hey,
they're working on the next one.
Look at the people the FBI goes after. They went after me, man. They went after me. What the fuck? They could have said, the judge could have said, look, man, don't ever do that shit again.
I know, Eddie. You got a raw deal. You got a raw deal,
mate. Man. Listen, all I did was I logged into the system where I used to work at, and I deleted my data that I made for them. because they fired me, and then they said that I fucking unauthorized access. They fucking did all kinds. They fucking went against me, man. Big time, man.
Yeah, well, someone must have given them the green light, Eddie. Someone mustn't have liked you. They gave them the green light.
Some
They gave them
dude
the
was
green light.
the guy snitched on me. The guy that worked there, he was fucking. This guy, he was a manager. I didn't like him. I used to prank call him and tell him go fuck yourself. And he got mad and he fucking called he said that I hacked into the thing.
Why would he get mad just to say that go fuck yourself? And why would he get mad?
Because he was a prick, man. He was a prick, man. He started. Listen, when I started working there.
Did you bang his wife? Did you bang his wife?
I gave myself a raise. I changed it because they wanted to know how much everybody was making. I gave myself a couple dollar raise, and then he called me in like a week later talking about, man, how come everybody's getting paid this and you're getting paid this? I said, man, I worked there, man. I worked hard. He's like, well, I want to see your W-2s from previous year. I said, man, I can't provide that for you. Those are private information.
That's confidential. For W-2s are confidential.
Exactly. That's what I told him. But this motherfucker, and then he laid off. Then he was trying to find reasons to fire me, and then they fired me.
And you do know what that's called when he asked for that. It's called a W-2 bad because you're not going to get it.
Hey, they gave me. They fucked. Dude, I should have sued that company, but I was stupid and I just took shit into my own hands and I try to get justice for myself the way.
Yeah. You said that. Yeah, you took things into your own hands, mate. You should have played. You should have played the company line and got him fired.
Listen, man, it's fucked, man. It's already it's over with, man. It's over. I'm moving forward. But I'll tell you my story. It's a very interesting. I could write a book, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, write a book, Eddie. Write a book.
What about the first book?
What's that?
You got to advertise the first book that you wrote, and then work on the second one. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Eddie. Mental Jack is my friend now, man. We're cool. I talked to him already one time.
We got I didn't know you weren't cool. When were you guys fighting?
Man, I called him some names and shit. I was talking shit because he came on to me like, "What the fuck?" I said, "Who the fuck are you, man?"
Oh, did you go after him?
I was
get off
drunk,
on the wrong foot when you say.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, "Look, man, I'm sorry, man. We're friends, man. We're cool." But I don't know him. He's all right. He told me about his car. That's a cool car he had.
Yeah, that's a cool car. That Challenger.
Yeah, it's cool. It's only cool though because it's over there, man. If it's over here in America, they're not that cool over here because they start.
Well, but his is kind of tricked out.
I mean, it's all right. It's a nice car. It's a nice car. The ones that they got over here, they start rusting out and shit, man. There's a problem in the rear quarter panel. They got this foam shit they put in there, and then the foam gets wet, and then it absorbs moisture, and then it starts rotting out, man.
They won't let them on the road here in Australia. They won't license you if you got one. In Australia, the Dodge Demon.
Dodge fucking sucks, man. Dodge fucks everything they do, man. They used to be cool cars, man. Like even the Dodge, like the new Dodge fucking what do you call it? The Durango? They got this fucking oil cooler that's really bad design. It's made out of plastic and it starts to leak. It can fucking cause catastrophic engine failure.
Oh, like a plastic water pump?
No, it's not it's an oil cooler, and it sits in the middle of the the V of the engine. There's a plastic water oil cooler there, and there's water that goes through it too. And what happens is it breaks. And you get oil in the water mix. And
I don't think water's supposed to go through your oil cooler. I don't think that's.
It does. It doesn't mix because the oil goes onto the heat exchanger. There's like a heat exchanger, and water circulates through there, and oil goes through there through another passage, and that cools the oil from. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why they need that though. That's so stupid. So, anyways. They start putting that shit on cars, like stupid shit, and it's easy to replace. You can replace. There's an aftermarket one that's made out of metal you can get, and solves the problem.
By the way, Luxy, are we on to car talk now? Is it official?
Yeah, we got to send up a pillow. By the way, Eddie, there's a super chat with your name on it. Can you read the super chat, please?
The Narc, $5 Australian. Mental Jog, say it ain't so. Love you, Eddie. Angelic, the sinister Spike, hashtag JJ come back, hashtag Bubble Boy come back.
Well,
not often knock super chats.
Yeah, he's been super chatting quite a lot lately, hasn't he?
But he's super chatting for Eddie. Interesting.
Yeah. Eddie,
man,
make
Archie's
sure
a good
you
guy. I
ask
like Archie. I always
Archie.
liked him. You know, he was always my friend. He called me one time when I was like younger, a different time. Like I was going through some shit. I just email him some shit, and he's like, man, and he's like, I don't do shit for free, man. I said, man, I don't got no money, man. Do it from the kindness of your heart. And he called me on Christmas Day, and he's like, Merry Christmas, man. And I said, Merry Christmas to you too, man. We
He's a
talked
good
for a
guy.
little bit. Yeah, he's good. I love Archie.
Eddie, if you had to do it all again, what would you do it differently? Would you do anything different
man.
if you had to do it
I
all
would
again?
probably
I mean,
wouldn't
what
get
would you do
caught.
different?
I wouldn't do that, stupid man. I would have wiped my
Yeah.
computer. I was too cocky. I didn't think they were after me. You know what I did? I hacked my. Remember when Wi-Fi used to be WEP, wired equivalent privacy?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that I used to use this program in Linux called AirCrack, and I used to break those passwords. I used to break everybody's password in my neighborhood, and I had everybody's Wi-Fi, so I used to use their internet for free. And then I used to like go into their network and fuck around and shit. I used to use that network to bounce to do that shit. And they went to my neighbor's house, and this guy came to court to test him. He's like, man, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It's fucked up. I shouldn't have did that shit, man. It was stupid. Hey, they had him.
Jesus, you were using everyone's Wi-Fi. You were using everyone's Wi-Fi.
That guy used to be my neighbor. I used to look out the window with binoculars and see them. And then he moved out before I got out of prison.
Man, you got
we got a different image of Eddie looking out at the neighbors with binoculars. Yeah, but at least he's honest about it. He's honest about it.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you some crazy
You were scoping him, Eddie. You were scoping him.
Listen. Yeah, they have this program called Cain and Abel. Are you familiar? It's an old software. I don't know if it's used in stuff.
Cain and Abel go way back.
Yeah, it's way back.
Yeah, that's a software that basically becomes the middleman of a router, and you can see all the traffic that's going through. Like you can see all the websites that the motherfucking like anything that goes through it. It shows all the computers clients connected to the router will show every website that's unencrypted. It'll show passwords. Anything you type, it'll show. That's why you got to be careful when you're on unsecured networks and stuff, because the traffic that's going through unsecured networks, if it's not encrypted, it can be decoded.
Have you heard of a NOM, Eddie? A NOM? ANOM? A NOM. They had to get the feds out to Australia. They had to get the feds out to Australia to crack a NOM, and they cracked it a couple of years back because they're all using it here.
I'm not sure what that is. I never heard of that.
A
But
NOM.
I know there's.
They just got a guy recently. He's a geek, and he had 30,000 pieces. He had a special software program built for the underworld, and he created his own program, and he created built his own devices and everything. It was even better than a NOM.
Hey, you know what my mom told me? Hey, you know my mom? She said, you're fucking stupid, man. You didn't steal nothing. You didn't do nothing. You didn't get no money. You got.
You should at least stole something, man.
Oh, your voice changed.
Oh, I know why. Because the card turned off.
This is better. No, this is better.
That's better, Eddie. That's better. No crackle.
This is better. Don't do anything. This is better.
Don't change it. That's better.
Okay.
This is good.
Yeah, because using my phone's microphone that's built. Not
okay. We got super chats, Eddie. Eddie, you're bringing in all the super chats today.
That's good.
Thank
See,
you,
people like me, man. I'm a likable person. I'm a person that I'm a good man, man. I'm not a bad guy. I didn't kill nobody. I wouldn't hurt.
We know that. We know that.
Well, at least not on purpose. Not on purpose. That means something.
GB MX $20. Thank you, GB. Eddie Goldberg is looking for an assistant. 25 an hour. Are you interested?
I don't want to be his assistant. I'm not.
And it's not 25. It's not $25 either. So guess what it is? It's 25 an hour.
I'd work for the guy. I'd work for the dog trainer. I like dogs. I'd work for the dog trainer.
Well,
but do you want to be his assistant?
That's good because it would be doggy position.
All
it would
right.
be doggy.
Yeah.
25 times an hour. That's not bad.
Yeah.
We got Patek Philippe. I was work for that company. They never called me back. I guess they found out. This company, remember I was telling you, it was a satellite network for.
Yeah,
for
don't say too much on the live streams. Just be.
no,
Don't.
it's a company called Intelsat. I'm not
Oh,
working there.
you're gonna say the whole thing. There you
Yeah,
go.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Don't fucking say anything on the
Yeah,
live
just be
stream.
careful what you say, Eddie.
Jesus Christ.
They didn't hire me there. They didn't hire me. It was called.
Yeah.
They were the big company. They used to make. Remember the Apollo moon landing? They
Yes.
transmitted the data from they're the ones that relayed through their satellites the communications from the Apollo moon lander to the Earth, to the NASA's headquarters through this Intelsat. It's an old company. Now they're doing satellite internet for aircrafts and things. Like they put in like Wi-Fi. They got internet inside the airplane, and then it communicates using 25 gigahertz stream to the satellite and down.
We got another super chat. Patel Philippe, thank you, Patel. $2 Canadian. TW, where's the best place for Morton bugs in Goldie?
Oh, it used to be the best bugs used to be George's Paragon. I don't know whether that's still it's still going.
What kind of bugs are you talking about? What is that?
Is that
It's Morton Bay. They're like a big. They're not quite a lobster, Eddie. They're not quite a crayfish. They're just a bit smaller, and they're a bit sweeter.
So it's seafood.
It's seafood, Doc. Yeah, seafood.
Like crawfish.
I'll bring it up onto the screen. Here we go.
Not so. Yeah, bring it up, Bugs. Bring it up, Bugs.
Here we
Morton Bay
go.
Bugs.
Here we go. Great Morton Bay bugs at George's Paragon Seafood Restaurant. Look at that, 5-star ratings. 4.7
Yeah. It's
star.
best.
3,000 reviews.
That's not easy
George's.
to achieve with 3,000.
Hey, they're talking about
George's have been around for years. All the stars go to George's.
Looks nice.
It's in
Nice
Brisbane
bridge,
too.
Nice bridge in the back.
That's
the Story Bridge, Doc. That's the Story Bridge in Brisbane
Hey, that's like
in the background. My son and I go fishing around the corner from that. We fish the Brisbane River.
Oh, really? What do you catch there, man?
Big salmon, Eddie. Threadfin salmon. You can get up at the upper reef, like towards the shipyards, and that you can get some tuna sometimes. But we haven't been for a while. He's got a boat now.
Salmon
He's learned
is
how to drive.
almost now a delicacy. I mean, when you consider wild salmon and not this farm salmon crap, it's becoming a delicacy.
Yeah, but you've got to be careful.
The Brisbane River salmon, the threadfin are a bit like a big catfish, but they've got the big whiskers, but they're sort of a hybrid salmon. They're not really that good table. You can smoke them. The thing is in the fight, that's all we did it for. He did it because of the fight of you catch them and they put up a bit of a fight. So yeah, that's a bug. I think that's a bug there.
Oh, was that one? Let me go back.
Hang on. No, that's the bugs they serve the bugs still in the shell, I think.
You're talking about crawfish, man.
Yeah, they're not like a full. They're a bit like I don't know what you'd call it, Eddie. A crawfish.
Yeah,
or
lobsters. They're like little lobsters.
It's almost a lobster. Yeah. It's like a
but
mini
it's a specialty. It comes out of Moreton Bay, which is the bay off.
That's fucking crazy. In Chicago, they used to have them. They had like rocks, on the beach. They don't have them anymore, like rocks like that. We used to go down there when we were kids and catch them, and fucking we'd throw them in a pot with like.
We call them pippies. We call them pippies. Yeah, we call them pippies.
Yeah,
I don't eat seafood anymore, but I have to admit that
we don't. We use them for bait, Eddie. We use pippies for bait.
Dish is pretty nice with.
They're like cockles, Cockles.
Yeah.
We got another super chat from Dimer78. Thank you, Dimer78. $5 Australian. Today's show is a lot more entertaining than listening to Pluto whinging about his life. Nobody likes a whinging. Or whining.
I was going to talk to Arch and say, listen, you should take a break and just make cameo appearances and let Lux and us run the main show, and we'll get Eddie on like today. You're getting plenty of super chats. Keep it lively.
Just like even if it's just once a week, right? Just so he can have a day off, right? Just to reset his mind.
Now we had
Yeah.
we had a special thing though, in that we had a couple of watch releases to talk about. It made it a especially
Oh,
entertaining
the
show, I think.
Speedy. I don't like it.
The
Doc.
Speedy and the Seiko, the Grand Seiko anyway. Just having a couple things that are new and the nice shiny object that we all get to watch, talk about.
Yeah, I still think that Speedy, isn't it just the same? Basically, it's the same as what didn't they release one a couple of years ago? Same as that.
So, but the original first Omega in Space, which was 2012 release, discontinued. I think 2020 is when it was officially discontinued. But in any case, that one was inspired by the 2998. But this is actually a virtual reissue of the 2998. It's still not an exact copy. I would have made it an exact copy.
Hey, is it
but
carbon?
It's pretty close.
Black. It's made out of some kind of black metal or something.
That's the dark side of the
No,
moon,
I mean
Eddie.
it's traditional, so it's stainless steel, just like the original of 1962.
Why would they put a bracelet on it with the polished centerlinks? That's just I think that's crazy. Why wouldn't they just leave the bracelet like?
I believe that was an option originally. Certainly, I know that obviously now you can get your Speedmaster Professional with either brushed or polished, and it's actually polished ends. It's
this
polished
faux patina thing. I don't get this faux
You
patina.
don't like that?
That's just it's bullshit. Lux, it's rubbish. I mean, it just
think the
detracts
faux
away from
patina
the
is
original.
fine. Nah, I think the faux patina is fine. And if you don't like the patina of the loom, then I guess you're really going to object to the patina of the dial, because the dial's patinaed to a very nice blue gray.
Hey, I seen this watching a Museum of Science and Industries on one of the astronauts, like spacesuit.
One of
this is
the
made to look like
Rolexes
that watch.
I think one of the GMTs just went up for sale. One of the ones that went into space was on the.
Yes,
I got
I got it. You're
You
right.
got it,
I
Lux?
have-
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I had it prepared. Here we go. Let me bring up astronaut Edgar Mitchell's Rolex GMT. It went into space. Is now going up for auction. Here it is.
That's really crazy
Hey,
expensive.
T-Dabs, you're fully on the. You're fully on. You know about all the stuff that's going on in the watch
Yeah, I
world.
keep it on. Well, it comes up on the feed, Lux. I get it. It just comes up there on Google. Once you
By the
once
way-
you start getting interested in what they just automatically put it up,
Yeah.
bring things, they bring shit up. What's the reserve on this, Lux?
Let's have a quick look. It says
There may not be a reserve.
It was worn on the Apollo 14 mission. It was the first Rolex on the moon. 1971.
1675.
The only other space-flown Rolex that's been sold publicly is Ron Evans' Pepsi GMT Master, which sold in 2009 for $131,000.
Why is this guy? Why is he putting it to auction? Is he passed? Is he
Maybe he
gone?
needs-
He needs some money.
I don't know. No, I don't know. Maybe he's passed away. I'll have
Bet you
to do
those are very expensive watches, man.
What year's this, Lux? What year did he take this to space?
71, 72, something in that order.
It's got a machine clasp though, Doc. Were they doing machine clasps in 70, 71? They weren't doing them then, were they?
You got to go back to the class. It looked like a
Look at the
1675
clasp.
to me, but
Yeah, look at the
and
clasp.
of course, back in those days, you could get whatever bracelet you wanted. They didn't care if you wanted it on a Jubilee. You could get it on a Jubilee if you wanted Oyster.
Doing machine clasps back then. They're doing the pressed metal. Look at the clasp. Is that a machine clasp or are my eyes failing me?
That's the standard. That's the standard class.
It's a pressed metal. Yeah, it's a
Oh, wait a
standard
minute.
clasp. Yeah,
But
sorry.
It does look newer generation to me, though.
Mm.
It doesn't look.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were the best. Those clasps were the best because if you had issues with the you could manipulate them in a certain way
you could bend it on the fly and make it work.
Yeah.
And continue what you're doing. This has to be a watch from the 1960s if it went to the moon in the early 70s. And I'm going to say that bracelet doesn't look like it's age appropriate for a 1960s.
1971 was the actual mission. So he probably bought it in the late 60s.
But that bracelet looks to be more like a bracelet from the 80s. It doesn't look like it's the right bracelet to me.
Oh, it might be a replacement bracelet, you think? He might have had it on a NATO. He might have had it on a NATO. Oh, there he is in the spacesuit. He's putting it on there. He's got the bracelet on it.
You know what?
That might have been for a photo op.
He probably either had it on a NATO or he had it on a comfort metal mesh bracelet like they did the Speedmasters.
But hang on, those spacesuits, Doc, they're that bulky. You wouldn't fit a bracelet around it, would you?
Oh, you can't wear that. They changed the bracelet.
You had to get a aftermarket bracelet for it, and usually the astronauts were using comfort bracelets, which I own a couple of them.
Yeah.
And you can expand
because those Bulliver Lunar pilots, they come with a special the anniversary one they've done with. They come with a special NATO's like a NASA strap that comes with the box. It comes on a bracelet, and you get
NATO too, yeah. But I'm just saying that the astronauts tended to like the metal bracelets. And the only one that would fit, that I'm aware of anyway, was a comfort bracelet, which would actually fit the suits.
Sorry to interrupt you. We got a couple of super chats. We got GB MX $20. Thank you, GB. Eddie, HR offered to write you a resume. Take him up on the offer.
If you can do that, I'd appreciate it. If you could,
yeah.
Can you work, Eddie, or have they blacklisted you? Can you go back into tech, IT, and tech and that?
I've had some bad luck though, man. I've had some bad luck, man.
You should be marketing yourself, mate. You should say, "Look, you've turned over a new leaf. You're willing to do a. Hey, you could do. Listen, you could do speaking tours. You know, like that guy. Who's that guy? Lux that they've made DiCaprio made the movie about him. The one that he kept getting away all the time, and he's a highly paid on the speaking tour.
Frank,
you know, he's the one that he gave him. He used to put himself as an airline pilot, and he was all over the world. They caught him in France. They couldn't catch him for years. What was that movie called?
His name was Frank Abagnale. That's that movie.
Yeah, Frank Abagnale. Yeah, Frank Abagnale. Yeah. Frank.
Talking about Catch Me If You Can, I think.
Yeah, Catch Me If You Can. That's the one. Catch Me If You Can.
We got two super chats. We got GD Argentino pesos. Is it pesos? What is it in Argentina?
Could be pesos.
Pesos or something. Yeah.
Pesos.
ARS
50, which I think is, let's have a look. 50 ARS into US dollars is 0.05 of a cent.
I don't think so.
Jeez.
I don't think that would come up as a super chat if it was.
Good on GD. GD's always thrown into the hat. Yeah. GD's always throwing tipping a bit into the hat. So good on him.
Yeah. He says, "Hey, haven't watched your show for a while. Are you back in Thailand with your family?" I'm in China. Hey, thank you so much.
China. I thought you were in London. It's so hard to keep track.
I know. I'm all over the place. I'm in China now.
What's in China, man?
Business, Eddie. You want to work for me, Eddie?
Give me a job, man.
You know, I just read that they're going to inject it. They're injecting $1 trillion yuan. They're going to inject $1 trillion yuan into the economy in China.
Yeah, they have to, because the economy is fucked in China.
The economy's slowing down. Yeah, China's slowing down. The rest of the world's breaking.
House prices are falling through the floor because it's overinflated. Everything is fucked.
Hey, if you're in China, do they have an official? Answer to what happened to the MH370?
Excuse me. Sorry, we don't talk about that.
Oh, is that too
That's not
conspiracy?
China. That's Malaysia. Anyway,
That's
China has nothing
Malaysia.
to do with
That's
it.
Malaysia. They're
Well,
still
there is a-
searching, Doc.
There is a theory that China had something to do with that.
But there's also a theory that the Americans,
The espionage theory.
I don't know about that theory, but what about the one that went to? What was that island that the Americans on? Fuck, I forgot what it's called. There's
Madagascar.
No,
Madagascar.
there's like an air base, and apparently was seen at that air base or flying into that air base.
You know, we have air bases everywhere.
I know. I can't. This was like MH3 Center was what 10, 15 years ago. I can't remember the exact name of the air base.
10 years ago. You're right. 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a hot topic still. It's a hot topic still.
Indeed.
What do you think happened to it, man? What do you think happened to that plane?
I reckon it was took to that secret airbase.
They can't just disappear off the,
Because
they had evidence of
people's phones were still working because family members were able to call the phones, and the phones would ring. Have
And
you
it
heard
wasn't
that
just
theory?
it wasn't just one or two of them either. It was like
All of
maybe
them.
20. No, well, not all of them, but at least
I mean
20.
a lot. People that called them. Yeah.
That means it's a huge number. So there's something weird going on.
That is weird because if the phones are ringing, that means they're inside.
It means that they're not in the
signal.
ocean like they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and they're not in
they die once the phone hits the once it dies, doesn't it? In the ocean, in water, your phone dies, doesn't it?
That's right.
There'd be no
That's
signal.
right.
There'd be no signal.
It should go straight to voicemail at that point.
So if they were still ringing out, they'd be able to triangulate them, wouldn't they? To find the.
Yeah, they could know where they
They
are.
know it. They know exactly where it is, but we're not allowed. We're not allowed to know that.
But we're not allowed to talk about it, and I guess we don't want to have this live stream. Put
No,
into
we can.
someplace.
No, we can talk about it.
Well, if we can talk about it, then I mean, it's. They've also said that there was a large number of scientists on that plane, an unusually large number.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Wow.
Not saying that they were taking information to any other kind of country necessarily, illegally or otherwise, but it was unusual.
Where was its destination? Its destination was what city, Doc? It was flying from the
Wasn't it
the
going to
destination.
China or something?
Kuala Lumpur to somewhere.
As far as I knew, it was going to someplace in China.
Yeah, I think it was going to
Yeah.
China, right? Full of Chinese.
Yes.
And so, let's say if you had delicate information, right? You're a scientist, you're working on certain projects, you have information, and suddenly a bunch of these scientists are on the plane. I don't know. I guess I might suspect something of nefarious is happening.
I got some latest on it. I got the latest scoop. It's a major experiment. Finally find MH370. New project sets out to solve aviation's greatest mystery. They always keep coming up. Are they just throwing out smoke screen stock to keep the public happy?
I will
or
say
keep
this:
keep the relatives happy of the deceased.
I'm not an expert, but I'm aware that after what Snowden said with a lot of the documents that he released, I think the U.S. has the greatest spying capabilities. So to think that they happen not to be spying on that area of the world for whatever reason is weird.
Hey,
Was that Reunion Island? You talk St. Denis, Reunion Island. They found the fragments.
Hey, was it flying over the South China Sea?
No, the Indian Ocean. It turned around and went. They reckon it plunged into the Indian Ocean, Southern Indian Ocean.
But you hear what I'm saying? It's like I think even the Google satellites would have had it on. They would have had some tracking of it.
All right, this is what I was thinking of. Jefferson Exotic, exactly. That was the name I was thinking of. The plane was flown to Diego Garcia. That's the military base that I was thinking of.
Diego
You're not
Garcia.
supposed to. You're not supposed to dox him. Now look what you've done.
Apparently, there's witnesses on that island saying they could see it landing at Diego Garcia.
I know there were witnesses saying that they could see smoke coming out of his tail.
Yeah, but who really knows?
Who knows?
Who really knows? But you wouldn't. I don't know. The whole thing is
The most
suspicious.
important piece is they said there was a plane's flaperon, which was found at St. Andre Reunion with barnacles on it. That's
You know
off
how
Perth.
you know how that sub imploded trying to go look at the Titanic, right? Remember that
Yes.
story?
It was made out of carbon fiber, man.
So remember how for several days we citizens didn't know if they were still alive, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah.
And remember how the U.S. government knew instantly that they were dead because they detected the implosion and they simply didn't tell anyone? That's MH370 in my opinion.
Yeah, they got
Now-
microphones around the ocean. They listen for submarines and stuff, Russian submarines.
But we've
they
got
know what
the U.S. has more satellites than anyone else. And when I say satellites, I mean surveillance satellites. So I believe that the United States knows what happened, but they're going to sit on it until someone discovers it and publishes their findings. And if there's enough proof, like there was with the imploding submarine, then they'll come out and say, yeah, this is what we knew.
Hey, you know the James Webb Space Telescope is really a fucking spy satellite, but it's a telescope for the scientists when they use it, and then it's also a spy satellite for the military when they use it.
Well,
Exactly,
the pilot,
that's my point.
The pilot,
Exactly.
this Ahmed Shah,
Yep.
he had $18,500 flying hours under his belt. He was a senior captain with Malaysia, and they had a first officer who was only 27, Farik Ahmed. That was his training flight for him. It was his last training flight before he was set to be examined to become a fully certified pilot. And he joined the airline in 2007. That's a bit. 2007. Oh, okay.
Is
So
this
10 years ago.
Many years ago.
Is this the video, Lux, where you see those three?
Yes.
objects?
This is a possibility. It could be a alien or UFOs or some kind of experiment, secret military experiment.
I was about to say, rather than simply stopping at UFO and thinking it's out of this world, it could be UFO because it's technology that hasn't been announced to the world.
Yes, exactly.
Like the Tic Tacs off the Tic Tacs, Doc. The Tic Tacs, the Air Force. They saw on the radar the Tic Tacs off the California
Yeah. So
coast.
basically, these circular objects, they basically go around the aircraft, the body of the aircraft, and suddenly the plane disappears.
Poof!
Wow.
So you'll see these.
Where'd you get this? Where'd you get this, Lux? Where'd you
This
get
was
this?
released
shit?
in 20. This was released in 2014.
You see those objects circling the airplane?
What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Hell.
Eh?
Yeah, and then
Little
the plane
unusual,
disappears.
isn't it?
What is that video?
What is that?
There's possibility it may be the MH370, but we don't know.
Some people think that it's fake,
Drones
except for
that-
if it is fake, it's extremely elaborately faked.
And then boom, it's gone.
Oof.
Oh,
It's
but
gone.
when it disappears, it doesn't disappear all at once. So people have slowed it down. If you slow it down, you can see the tail disappear before the rest of the fuselage.
They said they turn off the transponder before it disappeared.
So
Somebody was on board. Maybe they hijacked that plane and landed it somewhere.
I think they went over the hijacking theory, Eddie, and I think they debunked that. They were concentrating more on the pilot. and now they're concentrating on the co-pilot, the trainee. I don't know.
Well,
It's,
the reason they switched to the Lux, just before it disappears completely, you can see the tail start to disappear first.
All right, I'm going to put it on the slowest speed.
slow it down.
That's not real.
Watch the tail.
It's too fast.
Yeah. The tail.
The tail disappears.
Any
See
video
that? You can
edited.
see that shot right there. It's almost like somebody's cut the tip off of the tail.
Yeah.
That's not a real.
Wow.
The fact that it wasn't instantaneous to me means that something actually really did happen to the plane, rather than somebody just, splicing the film together and then they fake it and they show the space without a plane and they splice it together. No.
Hey, what happened to the? Let me ask you this.
In other words, the plane may be disintegrated.
Hey, those engines for the plane, they had tracking devices in each engine. Like they communicate back to like a satellite. What happened to that data, man?
Because Rolls-Royce, they check all the engines, don't they, as they're in flight.
Hang on. What about the black box? Aren't those black boxes indestructible?
I don't think they've ever been found, have they? Apparently.
Well, keep in mind, the entire plane is supposed to be indestructible, right?
Well, the plane,
Yet it disappeared.
Foam and shit. There's like fucking floatable. There's like flotation devices. Nothing was found from it.
It's possible that there's technology to explain it that we are not aware of, where they were able to basically eliminate the plane almost instantaneously.
I don't know about that.
All you need to do is look at the technology that they're discovering at CERN.
Yeah.
Right? I bet the shit that, I mean, they've openly said this stuff that they're discovering right now. That
Hey,
they claim...
did you hear what CERN did with the Russian side? They said Russian scientists are no longer welcome to work with CERN. That's ridiculous, man. What the fuck has that got to do with, these scientists? They didn't cause the war or any of that shit. They have nothing to do with, just like astronauts and shit. They have nothing to do with.
Sometimes scientists defect with information.
Oh, man, Russia knows more about
do. Yeah, true.
Then that's their loss, man. That's their loss, because Russia brings more to the table than all these other fucking scientists do.
Yeah, they've confirmed an ultra rare particle transformation 4 hours ago.
I think
that plane. Listen, that plane was hijacked, and they put fucking, what do you call those things, man? Signal blockers, so they can't get the fucking, like a jammer, so they can't get the signal out. They have, they could be in a pocket, man. Somebody could put that in their pocket. A signal jammer, cell phone, all these other the signals that they.
Hang on, Eddie. Estonia's it's the first Baltic state to join CERN. A month ago, Estonia's joined them.
I'm just
you're
logging
right.
into
They're expelling the
now.
Russian. They're expelling the Russian scientists.
I've just logged into CERN right now to see what they're up to right now.
This is turning into a conspiracy show. Look at that.
The proton beams are currently let's have a look. They're actually it's actually hyping up right now. Let's have a look. Let's go to beam number 1. So we're looking at beam number 1. We got green lights all aboard, and things are, the energy is at 6,800 GeV. The beam is stable. And here is the time if people think it's not real.
You know that there's not, the Planck's constant. There's not enough energy to generate. What do you call it? To generate Planck's energy. There's not enough energy on Earth to generate.
We got a very kind super chat. We got a super chat from Jefferson Exotic, $5 US. This is a message from the aliens. Eddie, the aliens are contacting us, Eddie.
What do they want, man?
They said, okay, be careful. Please put the camera down when you're driving. We captured MH370, and there's nothing you can do about it. Fuckaroon is. Yes, yes, yes.
Is that the way we'd communicate with the aliens? We'd be like, "What do you want, man?"
Like, the aliens are smart. They would not communicate with us because they know our nature. You know that there's a saying that your brain is not capable of understanding the concept of God and the creator. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were to understand everything was intelligent design, man. There is God that created life, man. Life is not random and not just like evolution and stuff.
You're not an evolutionist, Eddie. Are you an evolutionist or are you a?
Okay, let's say we evolved from bacteria. Why does bacteria still exist then? If we evolved from bacteria, why does bacteria still exist? Wouldn't it transform into human life?
Well, we do have a certain amount of. We do carry a certain amount of bacteria on us. Human beings do have a multitude of but the bacteria that we carry it can work in our favor to keep us alive. There's only some that if triggered, they're like diseases. If triggered, they can kill you.
Okay, listen. Let me tell you something about bacteria. Look up flagella motors and see how that's how bacteria moves around using flagellum. These are like these little strands that spin around. But if you look at how they operate, there's like a little motor that drives them. It looks like there's like if you look on an electron microscope, how it was like conceived, it's like an actual motor, like a physical. There's bearings and everything. So it's like fucking. It's like a technology, alien technology. This planet is an experimental, like a petri dish that aliens created to study what happens, man. You know, they created us. This is written in the Bible. If you read the Bible and you see that we were created, you know what I mean? This is not like random shit, man.
Are you doing the chimes also? Is that you doing the chimes?
Hanging, I have like wind chimes hanging in the car, man.
I
we got
figured
a super chat.
He's a bit of a hippie.
No, I'm not a hippie. That's not a wind. It's a wind chime. My mom gave it to me, man.
Eddie, can you put the camera down when you're driving, please? Because I'm going to get in trouble.
I got my hand on the wheel, man. Listen.
All right. Thank you.
Car is a safety
GD, $2. By the way, you missed my super chat before. Here's half your pay. All right, let's check his 1 cent super chats. Here we go. GD, Luxy, are you taking clip requests? I'd like to see the one you jump off the cliff and make a hole in the riverbed. Have that one? Nope, I don't have them.
Have you ever done a dive off of a cliff?
No, I don't think I ever have. GD 50 ARS, half of 1 cent. You don't seem to be in a hurry to get home, do you? Who knows?
Who are you talking about? Me? I don't want to go home right now.
Nah, he's talking about me.
What are you doing in China, man? You busy?
Business. I told you, business. Send me an email, Eddie. We could talk.
How do I get your information? I need your information.
I'll put it in the private chat.
No, man, because I can't see it right now. I'm driving.
Okay, I'll ask Archie to send you my email address.
Okay, can you text it? I'll give you my phone number. You can text it to me.
Yeah, but don't give it on a live stream. Archie, just tell Archie, and Archie will give it to me.
Tell what's up, man.
All right, boys and girls. I think I'm gonna wrap this puppy up. 3 hour, 12-minute show.
Why, man? Stay on more. Why you gotta
You want to stay long?
What time is it, man? What time is it over there?
11:57 in Oz. 11:57.
I think it would be a good idea to stay on the extra 3 minutes and take it.
Take it to
it
noon.
already is at 3 hours 12. Never mind.
Oh, man, who cares how many hours it is,
man? You're over 3 hours, so
keep the show going as long as possible. Never cut it off. Like anybody wants to join, man.
We should do a 24-hour stream, Eddie.
A 24-hour stream.
No, you can't do it.
Then people would come on whenever and they could hang out. And
Eddie,
Right.
I love your idea.
It can't be done.
Why?
So, talking about this GMT, the one that's up for auction, what's the special significance in that? I mean, was he a special pilot, or what was his? He's not like a Buzz Aldrin or a Neil Armstrong, is he? Like, why? I mean,
Uh,
those guys? They didn't put. Talk about Neil Armstrong. You know, he didn't go this. Everybody seems to be on this tangent now of putting things up for auction. You know, that have been. I mean,
Well,
really,
I mean, you
because they
know,
want the
people
money, right?
people are more interested in vintage watches than ever before. Certainly, if he tried to auction it, let's say 10 years after the moon thing, people would be like, "Who cares?" But
yeah.
now it's a big deal. Big deal.
So would he have been given this from? Was this part of his kit, Doc, from NASA, or would he have purchased this as a private?
I have a feeling
private
it's just like Shira with the 2998 First Amiga in space. I have a feeling he purchased it for his own personal use, and something happened where he ended up bringing it. Maybe his Speedmaster wasn't working properly, and so he brought his Rolex.
Watch is so fucking expensive, man. Why are they? Why is Rolex so expensive? Why are like all these watches like super? They're not really that. I mean, there's watches are watches, man. They can make them for $500-600.
What happened about that, Lux? What happened about that Sotheby's CEO that got robbed badly? What happened? What was the outcome of that story?
Sotheby's. See, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Did
I
you
bring that
see
up?
that? Yeah, his place got trashed. They threw his artwork in the pool.
Oh shit! I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
They
And the
shit on
guy
all of his artwork. They really trashed the place.
That guy had 5, count them, 5 exotic dial 4-digit Daytonas.
He did. He did,
5
Doc.
Paul
Yeah.
Newmans. Can you imagine having
5 Paul Newmans.
Paul
Yep.
Newmans?
Why did they do that?
Don't know,
It
Eddie.
seems like they did it to like spite him. Like maybe
Yeah.
they were. Maybe it's like you're filthy rich and we hate you kind of thing.
They only tell a story one side. They don't tell like both. Somebody maybe knows him. Maybe he was a prick or something. You know.
Doc, if you want to know the answer, I think was it Doc or T-Dubs was asking why people selling these watches? Well, the estimate is $400,000 plus.
That's ridiculous.
It wasn't me because I know they make big money on them now, and people are
Yeah,
into vintage
T-Dubs,
watches in general.
it's going to sell for like $600,000.
And after Paul Newman's Daytona sold, his actual Paul Newman Daytona sold for 18 million plus. So
Yeah.
all bets are off now. Everybody's going to say, hey, maybe I should put my watch up for auction. You know? Gorgeous piece, though. Gorgeous piece. Oh, Luxy, I just posted in the private chat a very nice description of the latest on MH370.
Oh, okay, great.
Including a description of the video you were showing with those 3
Okay,
objects
cool.
hovering around. You'll
Okay,
enjoy
thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Hey, why are these watches so expensive, man? Why can't they just be like affordable watches, man? Ridiculous, man. They could do it because people buy them. If you didn't buy
Sotheby's have got a pretty tainted history. You know, one of them murdered his wife. A whistleblower went to jail in 2002. Greed, arrogance, chief jail, 2002.
Maybe a slip of the knife. Maybe he didn't intend to kill her.
Yeah, he slipped. He fell. He fell, Doc.
No, it was supposed to be foreplay, and it got a little out of hand.
Got a little rough.
Next
got a
thing,
little rough.
Maybe there was a miscommunication on the code word to use. You never know.
I don't know, man. Some people they kill them because they got bored. You know, maybe she was in the way, man. She knew something, or you know, they didn't want her to, you know.
All right, boys and girls, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I got a meeting I have to attend to. We got 32 super chats. A big thank you to Tan. Big thank you to Bear. Big thank you for all the panelists that have supported Doc BBW.
All right, guys, take it easy, Eddie. See you, Lux. See you, Doc.
You guys, man,
Thank
listen,
you,
you good guys, man. All right.
Take it easy, TW.
Don't let nobody put you down, man. You guys are really good friends. I love you
You're a
guys.
good guy, Eddie. You're a good guy.
I was never mad at you. And sometimes Archie gets crazy and kicks me off.
We know you're a good guy. We know that.
I love you guys. Everybody, I love you guys. All right.
Likewise.
And good luck, Eddie, with that job. Good luck.
Thank you, man. I hope it works out, man, because I've been hurting for a while. I don't beg people for money to fucking try to survive. I survive.
Yeah,
my
we
own.
know. We know. You're a
Like
good
if I'm
guy.
listen, I'll tell you something. If I'm real hungry, before I go and beg, motherfucker, I'll steal to eat, man. Before I go begging for shit.
All right. Let's say big thank you to the super chats. We had 32 super chats today. P-Cars, $10 US, very first super sticker. Thank you, P-Cars. Bear Clooney watches, $5 Canadian. Thank you, Bear Clooney. We had Mert 100, $2 US. Thank you. JT, member for 10 months. Thank you so much. Patek Chris, $3.50 New Zealand. Thank you. Bear Clooney watches, $2 Aussie. David, and while I'm reading these super chats out, please give us a thumbs up. Can you smash the thumbs up button? Give us some love. Give some support to the channel. David, $3 Aussie. Thank you. Skies and Boys, very kind with £2 British. Thank you. Patrick B, $10 US. Thank you, Patrick B. Patel Philippe, $50 Canadian. Thank you. Big super chat from Patel. Thank you so much. Pavel, $2 US. Thank you. Patel Philippe, $2 Canadian. Thank you. $5 Canadian from Patel. Craig Lewis, $10 US. Thank you. Patel Philippe, $5 Canadian. GB 20MX, thank you. Pavel, $2 US. Patel, $5 Canadian. Thank you. Another 5 from Patel and another 5 from Patel. $10 US from Pavel. Thank you, Pavel. The Narc even super chatting $5 Australian. Thank you, the Narc. And GB 20 MX dollars. Thank you. Patel, $2 Canadian. Thank you. Dima 78 or Dima 78, $5 Australian. GB 20 MX dollars. Thank you. GD ARS 50. Thank you. ARS 20 GD. Thank you. GD ARS 50. Jefferson Exotic $5 US. Thank you. GD 50 ARS and GD $2 US. Thank you to everybody. Big thanks to Doc BBW. Big thanks to Tan.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Everybody, thank you in the chat. Check out the Luxy show in how many hours? 3, 6, 8.5 hours from now. So whatever time zone you're in, 8.5 hours from now, check out the Luxy show. And we'll see you on the main show tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Peace, love. See you later.
Bye-bye.